Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to First Touchdown. What in the world?
Wait a second. Oh.
You were talking like that, dressed like that before we started?
I thought this man was gonna be dressed head to toe in some Gucci or something, bro. He got a cap on. Hey, congratulations, though, base.
Congratulations.
This is a cap. Hold on now. This is not just a normal cap. This is far from a normal cap. Y'all better get it right. Get it right or don't get it right on. You see the patches on the side. Listen, this means I'm the credentialed. Not regular people. Regular people, they don't get to wear this stuff. I'm sorry. They don't get to wear this stuff. That's all I gotta say. Listen, and they make me rent it, Kai. For some reason, I can't buy it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure I get my time in it where I have it. So that means all y'all are gonna see me for 2 hours, hopefully. I don't know. It's kind of heavy. And I don't know how long I can last in it. Also, I have absolutely no idea whether I'm wearing it correctly or not. But what I'll say about this is I got it on.
Yeah.
Wait, so you don't even know if you got it on right?
No, I don't. I don't know how this thing works. I don't know how this works. I don't know how this works.
Are you wearing it's like a cape right now?
Yeah.
Hey, bro, that man's Superman. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like that, but I'm unsure. So I'm just guessing.
Oh, you look great.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Demar.
Yes.
Yeah, this man said all guys a cap on. That's disrespectful.
For those who don't know, Bates is graduating from law school this weekend. So, of course, get some congratulations in the chat for Bates.
Hold on now. You can't just say law school. You gotta say the institution.
Hey, you know what? What institution? Educate us. Educate the ones that don't know.
You tell them.
Oh, me? Okay.
You remember this?
We're going through a
Tyler
ceremony
Bates
right now.
graduated from Georgetown Law, ladies and gentlemen. Very prestigious school. That's right. Very hard. It requires a lot of work on a day-to-day basis. He has been working day in and day out, and he's pretty much given up a lot of his life to make this happen. So
that's right.
It's really a big congratulations. Like I think Bates finished his last exam, and I feel like I could feel him not even knowing what to do with himself, having just a little bit of free time. But now he finally has some free time, but only for a little bit, just for this weekend. Then he has to study for the bar, and then we'll end up having to congratulate him for doing that again.
That's right. Listen, I like that. I like that about. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. And joining congratulations Bates is Blurry Diz. Diz, you look great too.
I'm trying to scoot up because I think
you need some more light. I keep telling you that.
The camera's focusing on the mic. He's having a bass issue.
Yeah, that's why I got my mic off camera.
Oh, big forehead, bro.
Yeah, we can see the forehead. We can also see the buttons of your shirt fighting for their life.
I know, bro. I'm getting too big now, man. I gotta upgrade the shirts. Gotta go to a large.
Not the buttons for the not the buttons. Not the buttons. Come on now.
I know he stretches one time and the shirt might come off. Listen, if it comes off, we're blurring the cam. We can't have that show on Twitch.
Listen, don't tell me you're gonna wear that in DC this weekend. That's clearly doesn't fit. Go buy a new one.
I mean, I'm gonna have to.
Also, Chad, by the way, I just want to say, before we even got on the show, these two were trying to tell me that I need some minoxidil. Where?
Take the cap off.
Yeah, take the cap off, bro.
Take the cap off.
Fine, I will. Listen.
Oh! Actually, the waves looking fire.
I mean, the waves look good.
The waves look fire. Okay, bro. Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy.
Listen, don't tell me about nothing. Listen, I understand now. Y'all, I understand now. Listen, clearly, I got a little bit. Clearly, I got more hair. Less hair here than I do over here. But I'm not cleaning up because listen, the way he's cooking, boy, and I still look young and good. I still look young and great. Actually, my apologies. Let me put this back on.
We just saying that you could like shorten the forehead length, and then you'll have more waves. The waves will be a little bit.
No. Let me educate everybody back at home. See, listen, Tyler Bates doesn't need any modifications. The way Tyler Bates came out was great, and I don't need to change none of that. I understand what I have. If I got rid of the forehead, I was born with this. If I got rid of it, this is my brain right here. That's how massive it is. If I made it to where my line came down, it wouldn't be Tyler Bates anymore. And no, this is a part of me, and that's how it's gonna be. Now, trust me, I won't be like Stephen A. though for all y'all Americans. But if it ends up going all the way back here, about right here, or so. Then listen, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna shave it off. That's what Stephen A. needs to do. But until then, I'm keeping it. And nobody can tell me otherwise. That's right. I look great. I don't know what y'all saying in the chat, but Bates looks great. That's all I know.
We got a couple of so inspirational Bates.
That's right. I'm inspirational.
Massive 5-head, truly.
I think this is on the wrong side now. Great. Now it's all messed up. Oh well.
I won't say the rest.
You won't say the rest?
I won't say the rest.
Wade Puck said that is some S-tier mental right there.
That's right. S-tier mental. That's right. The best mental in the game.
And that's coming from Wave. Wave's got a great mental.
The
All
best.
right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a good show for you today. Of course, we're talking about KC. We're gonna talk about Gen.G, G2, NA, EU, NIP, and just a lot of the big topics that you guys have been talking about over the course of the weekend. Trust me, we've seen them, and the reason we haven't spoken on them is because we're gonna speak on them right now. But of course, to talk about things that are going on with Europe, we've got to bring in a very, very special guest. We've got Archie joining us on the show today. Archie from Oxygen. He's sitting there in the boot camp facility. Archie, how you doing, bro?
Oh,
I'm chilling, bro. It's an obvious day, you know. Believe me, I got to boot camp today, and it's been a good day, you know. Got on the sticks, getting to scrims, loading up. Had a good day of scrims, and now on the first touch, ready for my Nando's after as well. So yeah.
I can't believe it.
bro, you got something to say about the Nando's?
What do you say about Nando's? The base?
Yeah, bro, you got something to say about
What?
the Nando's, or do I have to tell the people what you said about Nando's?
It's just plain chicken. Like the hype is not real.
Plain chicken, my brother.
Yeah, plain chicken. They need to add a little bit more spices. Base know about the spices they need to add to that.
You
That
can
boy
bring your
from
own spices,
Louisiana
bro.
and
That's
everything.
obvious.
Why am I bringing spices to a restaurant?
That's obvious. You didn't know that?
Come on, Diz, bro. That's obvious, bro.
Come on, bro.
Come on.
Come on, bro.
Ah, that's funny. Listen, I will say the Nando's isn't that bad. Now listen, I'll say this though. Well, Raising Cane's, y'all know how much I love Raising Cane's. Raising Cane's down in Louisiana, Texas, the South is great. But Raising Cane's up here is not seasoned at all. Like up in DC, up in the North, you know. And so Nando's is better than Raising Cane's in some areas because sometimes the Cane's chicken comes unseasoned. That's when Nando's hit. And Nando's hits much better in general. I can go to Nando's and I know I'm gonna get a comfortable meal. If I go to Cane's, I don't know what I'm getting unless I'm back at home. So there's the question. I'll take some Nando's over Cane's up here.
That's valid. That's valid. I like Cane's. I miss Cane's. I haven't admit. That being said, I got a Nando's over here actually. Nando's ain't that bad. Nando's ain't
What?
that bad.
Wait, Nando's is in America?
Yeah, I got Nando's.
I just said it was in
like,
DC.
Literally like up the
Oh,
block.
I didn't even, bro.
Well, that's
I don't
because you
got
live in
no
the middle of
Nando's.
nowhere, so that's why.
How is Dallas the middle of nowhere?
Listen, we've been trying to figure out where the Cowboys have been for centuries. That's all I'm saying. That's middle of nowhere.
Okay. All right. Bad.
Okay, when talking about where the Cowboys are, where's Karmine Corp? They're not in the regional. What happened? Karmine Corp fails to qualify for the regional. This is something that no one expected, but this is the world we live in. Let's talk about K Corp and just how they even felt about it. Can we pull up their reaction tweets, please? They're in danger of missing out on London and Worlds. Fair made a very long tweet saying the most difficult day for our team. Unfortunately, it could cost us everything. There are no excuses. The direction taken after the major was not the right one. Added to that is a cruel lack of confidence since the last regional, which in this game can prove fatal. We tried a lot of things, obviously not the right ones. These were my responsibilities. I failed. I will accept the consequences. So big ownership there coming out from Farah individually. I mean, what do we think about this, World is?
It's a coach's tweet. I saw the rest of the tweets. I don't know if we're gonna pull them up, but the rest of the players were tweeting similar things like this. I think the players. I was a little disappointed in most of their tweets, but I think this is a fair tweet. This is exactly what Farah should be tweeting. And I don't know why they were changing a lot of things. I guess they weren't winning, so you kind of want to make some sort of adjustments here and there.
Oh,
but...
wait, there's more. Hold on. Farah, again, it was a really long tweet. Farah said, the season is not over. It gets very complicated. We will think about what comes next, redouble, retrench our efforts if possible, and find better solutions, become better. Because we owe it to ourselves and we owe it to you to not give up until the end. Send all possible support to the players. This is the first affected and most difficult time of their career, and now is when they need it most. Redirect your messages and frustrations to me if necessary. I think that was the end of his. Do we have the other tweets from the players? If we do, we can pull them up because this was definitely, he was kind of hitting on it. But you can already see, like, again, Farah, like Raul said, it was a coach's tweet. Here's Vatir's tweet here. I don't have the words. I swear we've worked so hard lately. Apologies obviously won't be enough, and you might insult me or something, but we've given everything, I swear.
Yeah, like, what is that? Or what is that?
I mean,
That's
what
not
do you mean, what is
Vatira.
that?
That's not Vatira. You can't tell me that's Vatira. That's not
It
Vatira. I'm expecting an anime
Oh, I see what
character
you're saying.
and I will be back. That's it, bro. That's all he had to say. He didn't have to go through a whole paragraph saying, bro, we worked so hard at this. But that's not Vatira. That's not the Vatira I know. That's not the Vatira that was top 5, the top the top 3 undisputed, the top 2 undisputed player in the world. He seems like he's losing confidence in himself as a player individually. It's clear as day. We've been harping on Vatira's performances, especially at the major. Going into this split, it wasn't looking too good. Now I will say he did play well. But the team obviously didn't perform. And this is not a tweet I expected from Vatira. I expected I will be back. That's it. Short, simple, to the point.
He tweeted a gif of Vegeta crying afterwards. That was probably more in line. I'd probably say.
Camera does not want me.
But yeah, no, K Corp not making it. I mean, Archie, how do you feel about when you saw the result? What were your thoughts?
I couldn't believe it, bro. But I mean, it is actually a stressful day, to be honest. Like, as a top team, like these teams like below us are literally like full confidence, nothing. They have nothing to lose, bro. So yeah, sometimes you can get caught on an off day and lose, bro.
Yeah, bro.
I just got the sly
Obviously.
smile. Was it obvious?
It was not obvious this time, bro.
Uh,
But I mean, I don't know. Like Casey always should always win that. Like it's quite like inexcusable to lose those series. But you can also blame the format too. But they should definitely not lose those series, and they know that as well.
Shouldn't be losing. Interesting. I hear that. But Archie should never lose those series.
I mean, anyone in the top can lose them series, bro. It's
There
just
you go.
like he's got to lock in, bro. Full focus. Respect everyone like a great team, and you'll win it.
Man's a winner, man. Man's a winner, man. That's why he's great. That's why he's great. As Raul tries to fix his camera, that thing's done. Bro, how my fault you're playing for Dallas Internet?
Dallas Internet.
That's all I gotta say. I don't even know where Archie is. Archie got way better internet than you. Where are you at? I don't know.
The beautiful city of Sheffield, United Kingdom, man. One of the greatest cities of all time.
I've never heard of that.
So.
Let me go look that up. Wherever that is, Sheffield United Kingdom. Listen,
yeah, it's the second best city in the world. It's second best.
Second best to who?
Leeds. Leeds is the first best.
Leeds? No, I've heard of Leeds.
Oh, really?
Yes, I have. I don't know why. Maybe they mentioned it around me somewhere. That's all. That's the only reason.
Yeah, maybe.
That's about it though. But yeah, the more. I mean, the KC thing is tough, bro. It's tough.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna say bro a lot with Archie on here, but
Yeah, I feel that too.
but it's really tough. It's really tough. I know we got a Q popped up for it.
Yeah, of course. Just trying to get initial reactions on that. The question is how much stock should be put into these losses? Now KC lost to Sut, and they also lost to Top Cougars in Game 5. This is something that could definitely affect, how they look for the rest of the season. But should we put stock into how they are as a top team? Let's take a look at some of the standings here for Major 2. Right now, in points, they're in 10th, where they won't be able to get any points in this next regional event. And a lot of teams will end up passing them, so they'll go even further down this list, potentially, depending on certain Swiss round matches. But everybody else in that top 8 are going to get way, way more points, to where now it's not like KC are out, but the next event is going to be really, really difficult. It's pretty much a must-win situation. But as we come back to us, how much stock should we be putting into these losses, Bates?
Man, I'll tell you how much stock we should put into it. To me, I mean, it's not too much. It's not too much. I don't really think it changes my perception of what I think about the team. But that's me though. I feel like I actually rate people properly throughout the whole entire season. I feel like everybody else is just reactionary. Because to me, I equate the KC losing to. I talked a little bit about on my stream, on one of my random streams. Archie, now listen, you got to coax me through the Premier League. So give me a great Premier League team and give me a bad one.
Great Premier League team, Man City, and a bad one, Sheffield United. They just got relegated, last place.
Okay. So those two teams you just said, Man City versus Sheffield United. You said Sheffield United.
Yeah, the worst team. The worst team in the league.
Is that wait? Are they based out of Sheffield?
Yeah,
yeah,
dusty team, bro. Dusty team.
There we go. Now we're learning. So yeah, you got Man City and you got them going against Sheffield. And then for some reason, and I'm not saying Top Cougars or any of these teams are just that awful. They're all good teams. And even any team in the Premier League should be a good team. Any team in the professional league should be a good team. But sometimes you also have great teams. You got a Man City equivalent to KC. Man City can lose a match against one of not as great teams. But see the way the actual league play and seasons work out, they'll bounce right back. Here, KC had a bad day. That's one bad day. It's a bad. What is that? Qualifiers last what? What, Archie? If you make it all the way, it last what? 3 hours? 3 hours on the day.
I mean,
On
if you
the
qualify
qualifying
through,
Sunday.
if you qualify through uppers, it's literally like an hour 20. But I think lowers is like ages. Like when we went lowers like one time last split with EXO. I think we was waiting like 2.5 hours until we played. So
Okay,
I
so
think
you
we was
got
waiting
like
for a while.
so a bad 2 maybe 2 hours on the field. Total of bad 4 hours. You got to wait 2.5 hours. That's all it is. My status on KC isn't going to change because they lost. Everybody else's might change. They're all of a sudden how you because to me, and I want to ask, how do you go from being the top 2 team in the world? And I'm interested to see where y'all put them. Because I would still have them up there as one of the best teams in the world. Maybe not top 2, maybe top 3, top 4, top 5, or somewhere in that area. But they just had a bad day.
Yeah.
And so I'm not putting that much stock into it. It's just the fact that they lost.
I mean, I would also do the same thing. I think I would still put KC as like a top 4 team in the world, like around there. I wouldn't drop them too low, just because of just knowing that potential of the team. And then we've just seen, especially you just have to take into credit all of the season. You literally have examples throughout the entire season of what the teams can do. And I think for a lot of people, they'll try to like power rank them low and say, that's not it. But the point of the matter is, if KC make the major, all that talk about them being a low team goes out the window, because everybody knows when they get to the major, they can win the major. Same thing for the world championship. It's just one of those things where they just have to get to that point. And I think a lot of people are just, so, well, I haven't really seen too much of it, but people can get super reactionary to where, oh, they didn't even qualify. Now all of a sudden they're a bad team. No, it's one event. It's a bad day. And bad days happen to the best teams in the world. And you have to take that into consideration but also, I think also it puts into perspective too, when teams do really good, like how we should be, more on like, wow, these guys are really good teams. When teams go on streaks like that and win like event after event, understanding how difficult that is, because now you're starting to see, okay, wait, these guys can lose. Top teams can lose. Vitality can lose. KC can lose. And teams like Gentlemen can win. So it's like you got to understand like the difficulty in doing that. I mean, how do you feel about it, Ro?
The difficulty in doing that. I think we're trying to babysit these top teams, man. I don't think we criticize them enough. I think that a team that was power ranked top 2 in the world for the longest time by a majority of the ecosystem of Rocket League should be criticized a lot more than we're giving them criticism. They are what was the last regional? They flunked out top 8.
They finished top 8.
And then they didn't even okay, that's a best team in the world, arguably best team in the world, top 2 for sure. Flunking out top 8 and then not even making top 8. Come on, man. They got to drop points. They got to drop points. You can't be losing these games.
Yeah, moving down maybe about 5, my 4.
About 5-4. What does that put them?
Not top 2.
Hey, but I mean, by majority of power rankings, G2 is a 5th, 6th place team.
Well, that's because a lot of people don't know Rocket League. That's the problem. I keep trying to tell y'all. A lot of people just don't know ball. They got a whole bunch of yappers, but nobody knows how to analyze the game.
Okay, so if Karmine Corp makes the major, we already know base thing. I need to know Daz and Archie. Karmine Corp makes the major. Y'all got them better than G2?
G2?
No.
Yes, better than G2.
It's tough. I mean, I think KC can't make the major now, to be honest.
Exactly. It's not even possible for them. It's too
tough. But they need to win and get lucky. So.
I'm asking the rhetorical question.
They'll be 4th seed. So I'd still say G2 is probably better than them. But like, I still think KC's insane, bro. Like, bro, in scrims are still insane. Like, they're still like such a good team, bro. So
I have Karmine Corp being a better team than G2 if they make the major.
That's good. KC's a top team. G2's also a top team.
That's respectable. Like, I think KC could easily be still the best team at the major.
Exactly.
Like,
both
even
of
if
those teams can win a major.
That's right. There's nothing wrong with that.
I think KC's got more chance to win a major than G2.
Yeah, KC does.
Of course, easily.
Okay, see, now we're getting somewhere. So why are they dropping 5-6 slots? It don't make sense.
Well, for me, I already had them in there about 2-5 range. I've been talking about it for weeks. And like I keep saying it, and I don't know what Archie been saying. I don't know how much Archie been watching the show, so I just reiterate. Sorry for people back at home. You heard me say this already. KC even when they were winning, even when they won 3 in a row, even when they finished top 4 in Copenhagen, it's not like they were playing great Rocket League all the time. They would
You want
play
me to tell you what
great
they do?
Rocket League in spurts.
What
They
they do?
literally out-aura. They out-aura teams, bro. I'm not trolling. Like they can play worse than a team, but the aura literally will make the other team lose, bro. That's what happens.
Exactly. And so like that, I'd already
Aura.
seen it. Like obviously I know what they can do. And the fact and Archie calls it the aura. The fact that their aura is helping them get some W's, but you can see it like right on the wall. They winning a lot of game 7s, a lot of game 5s. It's close. They're not coming out there and dominating nobody yet. And so eventually that's going to come back to bite you. And maybe that's why Pharaoh, maybe that's why the team wanted to institute some changes. There's still some changes to the roster. But they maybe saw that it's not as clean as they would like it to be. So I already had them in about 2 to 5 range. Everybody else was saying, and when I say 2 to 5, I mean like it could range. Like some teams might move up, some teams might move down. It wasn't locked. Everybody else was saying they're guaranteed top 2 team, guaranteed top 2 team, top one. And sure they winning, but winning matters, and that's in the day that matters more so. But also you can add a little bit of context into how they're winning. Are the games tight? Are they close? Do they have to rely on the Atto pinch to get by Falcons and stuff like that? And they did. Which means that's what winners do. But also in the same breath, it also shows a little cause for pause. So for me, they already were in that 2 to 5 range, bro. They already were on that sliding scale.
Okay, so that makes sense why they're not losing that much stock. But I think these losses should drop their stock a decent amount. Even using your points that these matches that they've been playing have been pretty close. So if they're gonna lose games to teams that weren't making top 8s consistently, or that are making top 8s consistently, but they're at the bottom half of a top 8, then why are they still in a top 5 conversation as
Because of what
some
you
of the
said.
team in the
But
world?
they winning. They still win.
When?
You literally said if they make the major, you would have them at
Yeah,
a
and
good chance
exactly
of
what you
winning.
said. Good point, Jamal.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is like why? Like why is that the case? Because
Why
all
do you
3 of the
feel that
players are
way?
individually great.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But that always doesn't make the best teams, right? And we've learned this from time after time. The best teams aren't always the best teams. Like they'll have this spurts, and I think that it could have been a honeymoon. And we'll be talking about this like we talked about NRG, where they maybe should have moved on. But how much are we putting into the confidence of like Fair to maybe change this, and then the confidence of the individual players to bring it back, because we know how talented each individual player is.
I'm confident, man. It wouldn't surprise me if KC makes it all the way to the grand finals of the next qualifier. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't blink an eye. Be like, okay. Wouldn't surprise me. I see KC versus Oxygen in the grand final. It's not surprising me at all.
I'm thinking about this because I feel like I can see that. I can see in the same breath they could also crash out. But I don't want to kind of.
I'm not saying them crash. Too great. They're too great to crash. Archie,
In
you
the
expecting them to
regional,
crash?
nah. If they are in the next regional, they'll probably 3-0 Swiss again. And then like
Yeah, I mean, Swiss
in the
will be
bracket,
fine.
they're KC, bro. Like I feel like they'll be most teams in the bracket as well. So
Nah, they didn't beat you though.
yeah, I mean that's just unlucky.
That's obvious.
It's what it is, man. It's what it is, bro. Always, yeah.
He didn't say that's obvious. He didn't say that's obvious. Believe me.
Nah, I
Believe
literally
me,
think,
that's
like,
obvious.
I think if they was on the other side of the bracket last region, they probably would have won the regional. So
You think so?
kind of unlucky for them that they played us. Yeah. Unless we played them in the final, obviously, but we bowled against Gen.G, so yeah. I'm gonna have to hold that one.
That's the stock, man. That's the stock, man. It sounds like all of us ain't putting too much stock besides Raul. Raul's saying he's not putting that much stock into it. I believe it's what you're saying. But we need to criticize him more.
I'm not putting much stock into it, but I do think that it needs to be criticized and highlighted a lot more
I feel that.
than what we're.
Oh, you think people are giving him a pass?
Yeah, people are just like letting it slide.
Oh, yeah, I see what it is. Listen, Lord tell you, if G2 or Gen.G Mobile One Racing did what KC did, we would. Oh my Lord, it's been a little crickets a little bit. People been coming to KC defense, but if G2 and Gen.G did what it is, I'm just saying it would have been absolute anarchy on the timeline. It would have been chaos. It would have been chaos. That's all. I will say that. I hear you right there. I hear you right there. I hear you right there. I would have been getting pinged like crazy. And I'm sure the KC boys, they get pinged. They might be getting pinged by some of Bad
The
fans. They have great fans,
yeah.
but they have some absolutely awful fans that I don't even know how you call yourself a fan if you ping them boys after what they do and how much they've accomplished for you. But in general, it has been a little more quieter, I would expect.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, I hear you on that. I definitely hear you on that. I experienced that a little bit. Yeah. So I get there. I get what you mean. I get what you mean. But all right, so let's talk about the big conversation that's been kind of been talked around the scene. Tough format or bad Karmine Corp. K Corp has been heralded as top 2 team in the world. Their season might be over by the next regional. Some people are having a conversation about, is it the format? Should they be winning their games? That's the biggest. Those are the 2 biggest arguments there that are kind of going around on it. What do we think about this one? Archie, I want to start with you.
I mean, day 3 is like the first match is usually quite easy for the top team.
Yep.
But the qualifying match can be hard, bro. Like, believe me, even in scrims, like, bro, we playing these teams at like, well, between like 8th and 16th place. Bro, these guys have no respect. Pre-jump me, cross map, like, bro, like, these guys literally think they've just won a major, bro. Like, how they're playing, I'm literally like, bro, this is crazy. And then sometimes in day 3, in the second match, they have the same confidence, and you're like, bro, like, we gotta like lock in, bro. We gotta play disciplined, otherwise, like, it's gonna be a close series, bro. We literally had it. The first qualifier, we played fast forward, and they took us to game 5, bro, because they just were peaking, bro. Like, Smokes was literally playing like prime Zen, bro. Like, I can't believe it, bro. So honestly, like, I can understand like losing the series, but I think like KC have too good of a players to like lose that. Like, I don't really know what the issue was. I watched the second match against Top Cougars, but I didn't see the upper bracket game. But they just like didn't look the usual selves. And I think they was a little bit nervous when they're in that series. I mean, they went 2-1 up and still lost, so I was quite confused. But it's what it is, bro. It's a stressful day, so I can't really knock them.
The way you described that made it seem like you guys go into the series not expecting this team to be as good as they are. So then you're like, yo,
Well,
we gotta lock in. Like they just come in
well,
and
yeah,
like kind of
it's
slap
like
you.
it's kind of like, yeah, like you gotta get into the mentality of like everyone's just like it kind of happened for us in the region as well. Like in the Swiss we went 3-2, and like people said we didn't play as good as we did in bracket, and I was like, I think because we didn't treat everyone with the same amount of respect we treat like KC when we played them. So
Yeah.
I think it's like a mentality thing. You gotta like treat everyone like they're good enough to beat you, otherwise like you might get caught lacking, bro. So
Don't get
And I
caught
think that
lacking.
was the case. I think that was the case
yeah,
for Karmine.
yeah,
They
definitely
did
could be.
they got caught lacking, and that's why I don't like people bring up this conversation of the format. Like the format, all formats are open to criticism. Like I don't think we'll ever have a perfect format where majority of people are gonna be like, yes, this is gonna work, and we'll see a top team losing that format and be like, all right, well we got to change the format again because Karmine Corp or G2's not making it consistently. Right, you just got to beat the teams that are ahead of you. I think a Karmine Corp team consisting of those 3 individual talents, consisting of quote unquote the best coach in the league, quote unquote the top 2 team in the world. They can win a major. You have to be winning these games. You have to be winning these games. There's no excuse. Like Fair said, it's on him. They were trying to make adjustments, and that's okay. You're trying to evolve your game and everything, but stop blaming the format. These top teams got to win the game, and that's what I mean by we're taking it light on them. We're giving them excuses. We're giving them passes. Now we want to blame the format all of a sudden. Just win the game, bro. You're top 2 team for a reason.
I hear you on that. I hear you on that. I mean, they gotta win. They need to win those matches. It was not as good KC. I'll say bad KC on the day. That's all, but that's why I kind of alluded to earlier. It's kind of tough. It's kind of tough. Not necessarily that they lost. I don't really care that they lost. I mean, it is what it is. Great teams lose sometimes. That's called life. You can't always be on your best. That's why you need to step back up. And then what really makes you great is when the lights are the brightest, when you need to perform, aka in the major, in the playoff, and when the back's against the wall, who's going to rise up? That's what really separates the good from the great. KC's done that before. I expect him to do it again. It's really the case. It's really more so the fact that now they kind of, I don't know. And listen, this yard man to my left, he's got a he's the one that can mess it all over Karmine Corp. Actually, they hit a run now. And they hit a run now, given the way the points are set up in the with the more points for Major 2. And then actually can end up taking Karmine out of the World Championship, which means listen, that'd be some story. But also it's kind of interesting how that works. And so I feel it's more so I think more people are more worried or talking about this not only because KC lost, but also the fact that they've won so much, but yet they still are in jeopardy of missing the world championship, even if statistically it's unlikely. I mean, Oxygen team, I keep telling people this team's great. So I would expect them. I would expect it. I wouldn't put past it. Oxygen win the next one and get finished top 2 in the next one. All of a sudden, Oxygen got a lot of points. I mean, going to London, they might do some work in London. So that's just what it is. More so to me, it's more so the points that I feel like the low imbalance. I don't necessarily know if it's I don't know. I'm necessarily like the best way to do having more points for the second major than having for the first major. I think I don't know, it kind of feels like it devalues it, but I feel like I'm in the minority and I talk to people. People always say, no, it's better that way. I don't understand that, but that's just me though.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Kind of makes it tough. I like it more so like to me, if Oxygen starts cooking this split and Oxygen goes and Archie and the boys, Archie, Joy, Large Oscar, they end up winning one regional or going to a grand final, another one, and then maybe in finish the top 4 grand final, maybe in winning the London Major. Maybe Joyo goes back to back with the London Major victories. And if they don't have, if Oxygen doesn't have enough points for the world championship at that point, well, that's okay to me because they just started cooking. They just formed. They just formed, and they had to do it in the first major. First major too. It's a complete season. That's like if somebody in the NBA. I mean, now I'll take it back though, because NBA, I don't even want to use NBA. NBA has playing. Give me a league. Somebody give me a good league. NFL maybe. Say somebody in the NFL, they start off slow. They go like 4. They start off about like 4-8 or something, and then all of a sudden they hit their stride, or maybe like 4-9. NFL's got, and they end up going like 9-10. What is that? About 8-9 or something. But like, they're just dominating the best teams in the game. That means to me that's a storyline going into the next season. I'm not gonna see that team in the playoffs because they start off slow. But next season, I'm like, okay, that team, they on the cup, they on the come up. If I see Oxygen start cooking all major too, they might not make it a world championship if the points are equal. But in me, that's a better storyline though. Cause I got something to look forward to next season. This Oxygen squad, you got Joy, you got Archie, you got Oski. They look like the best team in the world, if not one of the best teams. They ready to play. They hit their stride, but they got to do it for a complete season in order to make the world championship. That's what I think the world championship is about. So I think that's more so more my little like little calls for pause right there. A team like KC, you went 3 straight regionals, bro. It should never be in question unless you just absolutely just forget how to play Rocket League, whether you're gonna be at the world championship. The fact that it is a question, I don't know, it's a little tough.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely is tough. Because the question, like, even if KC bounce back, there's not a guarantee they make London, and then depending on the teams that do make London, how they do, the season it's one of those things where the season could probably be over, and you just don't know. It's like you still got to play your match, still got to give it your all, but you need a little bit of help, you need a little bit of luck. But it's one of those things too where I kind of feel you in terms of like having to show up because it's not just some tournament, it's the RLCS. This is what you play for, so it's like being able to show up and lock in on these days is very, very important. So I do feel for Casey, and we'll kind of see what happens with them in the future. But yeah,
At the end of the day, though, everybody signed up to do it. You accepted the terms. You got to ball out. No off days.
Yeah.
No off days, and if you want, and then it's better to have an off day in the major 1 than to have it in major 2, and that's just how the cookie crumbles right now. So they got to step up. They'll know that. They'll put it, and I'm sure they'll be bouncing back in the next qualifier number 3, and then we'll see what happens from there.
That's true. They got to go up against. This man here doesn't have to deal with him for another event. Archie, thank you so much for joining us here on the show, man.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
hold on, I gotta ask my boy before he dips.
Okay, let's see.
What you got cooking for us this weekend, bro?
Hey, we'll see, bro. First, we gotta get through the Swiss, and then we'll see what happens on the Saturday, Sunday. So,
bro, he's winning the event, obviously. Come on, babe.
I mean, I don't wanna be overconfident. I just want to take it game by game, series by series, regional by regional.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we can do something. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
All right, bro. You listen. You always know I'm watching.
Yeah, of course, man.
All right, bro.
Enjoy your Nando's, Archie. See you later, bro.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it, man. See you.
It's my guy right there.
That's right. Good to be able to chat with Archie here for a little bit. Wish Oxygen some luck in the next regional event. But cool. Yeah, that's that. Let's talk about our next topic. The battle for G. I'm not reading that. Gen.G lose to OG. and J-Naps does really well. Let's take a look at the Gen.G.
Gen.G gets smoked by OG. Trust me. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. That's what I heard while I was driving back home. Let's check it. Let's check it. First killer, J-Naps. I mean, DeMar. I know you went to the series. You probably thought Gen.G was just gonna slap.
He definitely thought that.
I said it was gonna go 6.
Yeah, you did, and it did go 6. Just not the way you wanted it to.
I said it was gonna go 6. I was like, OG's a good team. Man.
Oh, it didn't even go 7?
Games.
Nope, it didn't go 7. It went 6.
Really? I could have sworn I heard it going 7 on the phone. That's crazy. That just means, you know what I'm saying? Listen, DeMar, I was living in a fantasy land. I thought it went 7 at least.
I thought it went 7.
I'll tell you this, though.
Okay.
I'll tell you this, though. This OG squad, they know how to play Gen.G. Same way Gen.G knows how to play G2, OG knows how to play Gen.G. You got to remember, back to qualifying number 3, I believe, for the major number 1, OG went. They were on, at that point, they were playing Utopia Coliseum day for game 6 rather than Neo Tokyo. OG pushed them to overtime in that. Could have went game 7. Karmine overcommitted, left the net wide open for Abject. OG had the momentum. OG had the momentum in that series. I don't remember necessarily that's the last time these two teams played, but it had to have been within the last 2, if not the last. And that just shows OG knows how to play them. It's all about matchups in today's game in Rocket League. And OG, I think they know they're comfortable going up against the Gen.G squad to battle.
Yeah, that's valid. And that's what I was saying too when I was on the desk. I'm like, they game playing really well. I just didn't expect the execution. I'm sure the players didn't expect it too on the side of Gen.G because, I mean, the way OG was just being able to
demo 1-2, skip to Malu.
Yeah, they pressured them. They played the ball really well. They didn't necessarily like try to play one way, like commit resources too far forward and play like a aggressive demo style. They just said, okay, let's just make them uncomfortable. And look, even there, like when they're making offensive plays, you can just see Calm getting involved, just doing his best to like make it uncomfortable. That was just kind of like the name of the game.
Everything, look at it. Everything's on. A lot of things are on the ground right here, Raul. You know, you see what I'm saying? A lot of things on the ground. A lot of ground.
Everything was on the ground, and I'm really not expecting that coming from a team consisting of first killer on there. Now I want to bring up a huge talking point, man. I think I've been questioning FK this entire season. He's looking consistent. Sometimes he looks like a top player in North America, in the world. You can argue. Sometimes he's looking like he's just not on the field at all, and he's uncomfortable everywhere he goes. I want to say Chronic looked the best this weekend on Gen.G, in my opinion, and to me, that's a problem. You have superstar-studded players like First Killer and Abject. We've seen what that duo could do at the major. They quite literally were taking over series at certain points during the major. Chronic, there's no disrespect. Chronic's a fantastic player, and he played incredible this past weekend, but he can't be your best performing player if you're going to win these regionals. It's just blunt. Like, it's just blunt honest. First Killer, Abject have to be the guys on this team. Well, my perfect scenario for Gen.G and what I alluded to, a way that they can win the major, in my opinion, is if Chronic plays more of a third man, a fill-in spot for this team, and First Killer and Abject do what they got to do on offense to carry this team forward.
Is that not what they're doing already, though?
No, it was Chronic was setting up a lot for Gen.G this past weekend, and I just don't think that should be the case if they want consistent victories.
Here, I got it right here. Thank you, D-Rec. That was I was referencing the last time OG played Gen.G in a best of 7. Since that last best of 7, but they played 3 times total. They split already. OG, but once again, OG beat him 1 time, 3-2, in a Swiss, and then Gen.G beat OG 3-1. So OG, man, like, listen, it's tight. It's tight between those two teams. It's all about the matchups, man. It was just it's a really interesting way of approaching the game, and it kind of makes sense though, because Gen.G, I think they beat G2 more so because they're thinking more about the game a little bit. Not saying that G2's not thinking it, but I think Gen.G is really slowing it down, and is trying to be as efficient as possible in every single instance. And it shows like they're really trying to calculate. I think OG is a very calculating team, really trying to. They know they're not going to match you necessarily in the just pure mechanics of the game, but they can match you in terms of the game plan, in terms of the execution, in terms of the taking advantage of somebody in exposition or making somebody uncomfortable. I think that's just a clash of play styles. I like it. I like how OG can do to him, and it's really fun to watch. And I know also what's fun to watch? It's a great clip. It's a great clip from this past weekend.
Why are you giving that smug look? The craziest part about that whole thing is that when G2 came up to play, Daz was actually cheering for them.
Why was he cheering?
I was so surprised. I don't know.
Oh, that's because he just likes Great Rocket League. He likes Great Rocket League.
No, I didn't. I feel like I wanted Cloud9 to lose more than G2 to win.
Why's that?
Because G2's a good team. I need them to continue to be a good team. I lost there.
That's good. That's good.
It's not good for them.
Tomorrow, I mean, so those y'all have on. Me and Demar really haven't talked about this moment yet. So now I'm gonna walk him through it. I'm just curious, Demar. So what went through your mind? Because if you watch the, I just realized we're on your mirror in the back of your room. But anyways, sorry, that's my ADHD. Anyway, so Demar, what went through your mind? Because when Wave said we got an interview queued up, you said, wait, what? So what was the thought process right there?
Well, okay, so just for those at home, we'll peel back the curtain a little bit. So we get a feed, like just how you guys see Bates there, we have a feed where we can see what you guys see in real time. So not on a stream, no delay. So it's the end of the show. Everybody's already making their jokes or whatever. I'm like, all right, cool, we're making the jokes, all right, whatever.
You said you had to turn off the phone, remember? You said you had to turn off the phone.
Turn off the phone. Yeah. I told people, I was like, all right, I'm turning off the phone, like, because I already knew, like, last time something like this happened, people blew up my phone. I actually see the book. Wavepunk sent me a book that says Grief, Loss, Hope, and Recovery. I was getting text messages. I was getting Twitter ads. GC had a whole dazzling, sad highlight package that she put on Twitter. It was a very tough day. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna duck the smoke, and we're just gonna, we're gonna take it step by step. I think you guys have seen I haven't really been tweeting too much, but regardless of that, I'm like, let's take it slow, let's play it easy. I have a interview, and I'm sitting here, and I don't have the feed up, so I don't know what he's talking about. And you can see me look over and click around to pull up the feed because I'm trying to figure out, I'm like, what surprise interview? I'm thinking we have like literally a special guest or something that's coming on. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, a surprise interview. I'm like, did I miss something?
A special guest.
Right, I'm like, did I miss something? Let me check Discord. Like, let me see what's going on. And then I see this dude looking at me in his car with a smile on his face, and that's when I knew I got set up. I knew I got set up. And just to be real with you guys, in that moment, I had to make sure I kept my composure and not say anything that would get me in trouble. So, yeah, I was shocked. I was caught off guard.
I run amok, led astray.
I was set
bamboozled.
up, run amok, led astray, bamboozled. I almost feel like I was lied to. There was no lying, but I almost feel like I was lied to. I was betrayed. I was betrayed by the team in the back. And, I'm hearing my producer in my head, too, because we showed the points for a long time, and they're saying, yeah, just give us an extra minute. We're gonna hold on this. We just need a little extra minute to set up. Just give us some. So I'm like, okay, we just talk about the points a little bit more. And like, that's fine. There's been plenty of times on the show where we had to stall just in case something happened. So we're trying to set up. We're trying to stall. And then I hear this interview thing, and I'm like, what are we talking? And then it was just like seeing a nightmare in full screen. And then it led to the reaction that you all saw.
Hey, you hear that? You in his dream sometimes. You a nightmare, bro.
Listen, apparently I'm in everybody's head. That's just what I do. That just means I'm great. If I can elicit that type of response just from me smirking, that just means I'm great. That means I'm doing something right. That means I bring fear to some people's lives in a good way. Also,
wait, what?
Also, I will say this. More disrespect me right there, Roll, because he said special guest. I am special. I was a special guest. When has anybody ever called into the RCS? I pulled over to the side of the road to pull that off.
Listen, I'm not saying you're not a special guest. Sorry, it's like PTSD now. Now I'm reliving this. Right,
you got to read that book, man. Go read a couple pages.
I know. I'm gonna have to grab the book, bro. But now I'm just sitting there because it's a lot of people that could have been brought in on that show. They could have brought in the LG boys. They ended up sacrificing me on their show. They had a picture of my bald head. Listen, I got a lot of people that's on the radar that want to smoke. So I was just caught off guard. I'm not saying you're not special, Bates. You're definitely special.
Listen, that was a great time for me. I love that. Really got shout out to the production team for making that happen. I was just thinking, I was like, man, we can do this. I can call and he'll never expect it. And I need to get my get back because last time, because when Gen.G won, he was yapping a lot. I need to get my get back. I had to get the get back. I was like, this is perfect. He'll never suspect this. I knew it was coming. I knew we were both on the desk after the Gen.G G2 final and qualifier number 4. I knew it was coming. There's nothing I could do about it. But he didn't suspect this. He would have never guessed I was on my way. I hopped on the phone on the 5G. I didn't have Wi-Fi. I said, this might be a terrible connection, but we still gonna risk it. 1 for the content, but 2, I gotta get under this man's skin. It ended up being perfect.
It won't happen again.
Wait, you can't control that.
Yes,
yeah,
I can.
Yeah, you can't control any of that, actually.
I can. I can control it all. It
Oh,
won't happen again.
He'll just disconnect from the call next time. That's what I'll say. He'll just avoid all interviews.
I won't. No. Gen.G will just win. That's why.
It's good you believe that I can win everything. There's nobody in the world that can win everything.
Again.
It's called perfection, and nobody's perfect. But good try,
Not saying that. I didn't say they were
Except Zen
perfect.
last season.
Except Zen?
See, there you go.
Yeah, last season. That's the closest thing we'll get to perfection.
Yeah, that's the closest thing you get to perfection ever. Zen. That's right. That's right. Bro, I was watching Raul stream. You know, Raul said he joined on the phone. He joined on the phone.
Your camera was really good for you joining on the phone, though. I'll give you credit for that. I was like, dang, that was like 4K.
I'm not shouting out anybody on here though. I don't do free advertisement. Anyways.
All right, let's move on, man. G2 on top. Okay. The arguable best in NA. Do it again.
Yeah.
G2.
Who wrote this one? I wonder.
Go the distance against SSG. Yeah. Let's take a look at those highlights. Yeah.
Let's take a quick
Talk
look
about SSG and G2.
Listen, well, let me start off first. With SSG, you got to tip your cap to them because they showed me something. They got a little bit of special in it. I'll tell you this. That man, LJ, he's back on form. He probably was in form the whole entire time, but he's really on form now. He's back. And he's playing absolutely incredible Rocket League. Played incredible in Qualifier 4, and I think the Qualifier. But it's just how poised he is, how controlled he is. And Hoxer in Chicago, they stepped it up. They stepped up. I know we asked them on the show. They need to start performing a little bit better. They've been better the whole entire time. And this SSG squad, they continue to ascend. They continue to show that they are clearly a top 3 team in North America, without question. And it just shows by the gameplay and how much they go against G2, how much they have to push them, how much they can go against Gen.G and push them. They've been looking great, man. They've been looking really solid.
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with SSG. I mean, yeah, I would say so. I feel like I kind of understand like how they work a little bit more after watching them a lot this regional event. I mean, especially LJ. I really need to like kind of highlight LJ because it's just the way that he's been playing for SSG. You know, a lot of people expect when you expect a star player, you kind of expect them to be a little bit on the ball more, but LG was kind of playing a lot off the ball. He was always just trying to be able to set up a play in the back, but while still maintaining good mechanical ability while being on the ball.
Great pass right there. Great beat right there.
And he was just always making like the best play possible. Oh, this play was crazy.
That reminds you of that RCSX play, Arsenal, Rebels, and Sips. That was a team, right? Back in the day?
Yeah. Oh, and that catch. That catch right there.
That was the best goal of the weekend.
Crazy.
Best goal of the weekend by far. Without question. Look at it. Show it 2 times just in case y'all missed it.
Thank you. Look at
Low
that.
boost, too. Barely had any boost. Efficient with it. Perfect touches. And he got the bump. Put him away. That's what superstars do. They help you win games. And listen, at this point, I already know. Everybody in the world is probably thinking G2 and they're in trouble. Down 1-0. Demar, what were you thinking?
I mean, I was just looking at SSG. I was like, they're good. I knew that they could do well, but yeah, like putting the series like in that position was rough. If they had taken that game, I mean, they probably would have won the event. But they lost.
Bro, see, to me, I went back and watched this series. I was listening to it, but then I went back and watched it. And to me, the biggest difference was in this G2 squad, I saw an aggressive Daniel. In that game 4, I think he had about 7 or 8 shots or so. And he was much more aggressive than normal. Is that what you saw when you were watching from the watch party?
I think he was a lot more aggressive, but I think the catalyst for this
you talking about
success that we're seeing is Atomic.
Yeah.
It's Atomic. Atomic, I remember it was a couple streams ago where I was questioning, and I tweeted it. I was questioning when the last time we saw a player take over, and Atomic did it this weekend. Atomic showed us that he's the catalyst that needs to perform for this G2 roster, even at the major. We were watching Atomic struggle hitting shots over and over again during the Swiss stage of the major. Gets the playoff bracket, Atomic slot and everything, and G2 makes the top 2. Atomic is the main difference on this team. We know the capabilities of Beast Mode.
Bro, look at
Daniel
that
pre-jump, bro. He's been pre-jumping so
Beast
much
Mode, Beast Mode
this
pre-jumping
season, man.
everybody.
He's
We know the
pre-jumping everybody.
capabilities of Beast Mode. Daniel doing the things he gotta do, and Daniel will occasionally have the best play we ever seen in the world. But it all comes down to Atomic. How Atomic plays on the day is how G2 is going to perform.
Great team play right here.
That
In that first goal that G2 scored, that one where Beast Mode had the net wide open. SSG had pressure coming out the gates, and G2 they stymied it, and they needed to stimmy that pressure because if it wasn't gonna be, they almost got conceded. They almost conceded right there. They actually hit other SSG with what G2 gets hit with all the time, where G2 applies the pressure, G2 puts it on the defense, and then eventually they end up making a slight mistake. Another team is a quick counterattack. G2 hit SSG with that. Something that they don't do much often. A nice good counterattack, great defense, no boost, low boost, but we're gonna take advantage and score right there. They needed that. And at that point, they ended up getting the W. That's a good squad for them. G2's first win since I don't even know. When's the last time they won? Qualifier number 2, maybe. Qualifier number 2, maybe. Yeah, qualifier number 2, maybe. I think that's the last time they won. And it's looking good for the G2 boys. The only team in the world so far that's been to the grand finals in every single event they played. Well, no, that's not true. That's not true. I take that back. That was a lie. The only team from North America and EU that's been to the grand finals in every single event they played in. No, actually, I can say that too.
No.
They're the only team in the world that's been to the grand finals in every single event they played in.
Yeah.
There we go. I can say that. I can say that. So to make sure I had to do a quick analysis in my brain about Sam and Mina. But then they weren't in the grand finals in Copenhagen. So.
Oh yeah. Valid.
That makes sense, actually.
That's valid. That's valid. Yeah, man. I don't think anybody is not giving G2 their stock. Just I mean they especially when they play like that. When they play like that, that's amazing. And a lot of people will try to expect which player is going to individually pop off, but the fact that any of them can and take over a game is really good. Daniel was able to do it in a couple of series that we saw earlier that weekend. We know Beast Mode could do it every once in a while, but seeing Atomic do it, I think was really, really good, especially because I think he had a lot of question marks around the time of the major, like around Swiss time. But then like now you just seeing them even get it better and better. It's just gonna be like really good to watch G2 in the future. But I'm just like the G2 professional hype us up.
Golly, you sound a little sad right now. You know,
What sounds sad?
I mean, Atomic, man. I mean, yeah, when he's playing that good, man, I mean, it's just yeah, I mean,
I'm not sad.
All
It's
three of them,
cool.
all three of them are on, bro. Like, listen, like when Gen.G wins, I give them the respect, man. That's what I'm saying. I'm the least biased person in the whole entire RLCS scene because listen,
That's
I
a
respect
lie.
greatness. But I'll tell you this though, the G2 squad they played absolutely great this past weekend. Roll the tape again. The SSG series was good, but there's another series they played. I felt like that was just a little bit better, and it really proved. I was talking about matchups here. You got one heavy hitter going up against a counter puncher. Where's my clips at? Why is it still looking at me?
G2 Cloud9, Ben.
Why is it still looking at me? Where's my clips?
Let's start a highlight.
There we
Thank you.
go. Thank you. There we go. Cause listen, Cloud9, they got a great matchup against the G2 Stride squad. You know why? Cloud9 sits there and plays nothing but defense, and G2 Stride play nothing but offense. And we all know. Well, if you don't know, now you should know. The defense is slightly easier than offense. There's nothing wrong with that. The G2 Stride, they came out the gate swinging against them with that. You thought, oh wow, this is over.
Yeah, I think it's over. I mean, no, I didn't want to be over. Listen, I was a G2 fan this series. Cloud9, they were doing their job. I'll give them credit. They were doing their job. They were playing really good. I'm not gonna lie. Percy was playing really good all event long. Rolled this, but yeah, no, G2 they were putting in some tough areas. I'll give Cloud9 their credit though. They have improved. They have improved. You're right. There were times where I was a little bit worried about G2. I was.
What in the world is this? That's in the net. That's crazy. That should never have worked. Anyways. I mean, Cloud9, man, they were just solid though, bro. What you think about them the whole entire weekend?
That Percy top 5, bro. Percy, he's top 5. He's top 5.
Top 5 from what?
Top 5.
from this weekend?
Players. Yeah, no, players in the world.
Players
That's
where?
Percy, man.
In the world.
That's Percy, bro. He just took a break from the throne. That's it, man. That's Percy, bro.
that can't be true.
What y'all gotta understand about Percy, man, is Percy was supposed to be next up, man. He was watching typical replays for the longest time, and now
Ooh, that's
boy
an
got a
accident.
good team. Oh, look at this man go now.
How you be a
But
hot boy?
then-
How you top 5 and you end up losing a 3-1 lead?
Huh? But it's not his fault. Look,
Hey, listen, it's not his fault. He's up 1-0 and 4-13. Listen, and listen, G2's got score on him. How's he lose?
Right, all he has to do is sit in there.
Oh, he's not
Oh,
in
he's
there.
not in
his
there.
He's not in there.
monitor turned off. Yeah, his monitor.
He's not in that there. He's
He's
not
not
in
in
that
there. My bad. Oh, this shot right here though by Atomic boy. Woo.
That
That
was
shot was crazy. You watch it from the Nils perspective, man. He would have never suspected that. They needed that. G2 needed that great shot right there. Lion Blaze, good save. But here's that man Atomic, like you're talking about, Raul. He started popping off this whole rest of the series.
Yeah, this man. This is the takeover. This is exactly when Atomic started taking over. I will say though, more credit to Cloud9 is. I think I was a little bit biased going into this because I used to team with Lion Blaze. Some of y'all may not know that, you know, 1967. But yeah, I understood the potential that Lion Blaze had. Like he was a carry for our team, so I get why they're seeing success with Zanil and Percy, and yeah, it was extremely
pads, bro.
It was extremely impressive to watch them, but. Yeah, to see them not being able to close out, it just goes to show. Look at Atomic, like, wow. It just goes to show when Atomic's on one, he's on one, boy. It's hard to stop.
There's not much you can do right there, man. Atomic, I believe he had a hat trick in Game 7, iced them up, win the Michael Jordan mode against them. Cloud9, it ended up scoring off the kickoff, I believe, right here. Yep, bump. Easy goal, 1-2, and you thought there was a chance for Cloud9. You really did think that they had opportunity, but then Atomic, he put them away yet again. Followed it up, Daniel off the post. Atomic, I'm just going anyways. Dunked them, low boost. Doesn't matter. Ball's too close to your net. Cloud9, you got to concede. G2 ended up going to 2 Game 7s back to back. And that's what I'm saying. G2's been consistent, but also they're not dominating. So they could also lose as well. Kind of same lines what I was talking about Karmine Corp earlier, where Karmine might win, but they're not dominating. G2's not dominating anybody either. G2 went down 3-1 in that series. Went down 3-1. Were they down
in both series?
And then they ended up bouncing back.
Mm-hmm.
So they need to stop starting slow, because I think that's their thing. They start slow. They don't take their first games enough. Everything can't be going Game 7, Game 6. If you keep going all the way the distance, you put yourself in a susceptible position. And at that point, it's anybody's game. You can always lose. But I tell you this Cloud9 squad, they're the absolute opposite. So the absolute opposite of how the OG Cloud9 squad played, where it's offense, fun, and nothing but pressure. They play a little bit of offense, this new team does, but they play much more defense. But they are fun to watch, and I want to see what they do in the next qualifier. I want to see if they can keep this up.
Yeah, me too. I think this opens up a wider conversation about where NA is, and we can like transition to our next topic too about NA's gauntlet. Is this the deepest NA has ever been? Because there are a lot of teams that have stepped up this season, and this is where we can kind of take this time to really kind of talk about all of them. Let's take a look at the NA standings here for Major 2. And when we look at the standings and just see where everyone is, just kind of seeing again how close knit it all is. Of course, you've got your kind of separation there with the top 3 and for London major points, but then you look under them, Cloud9 OG, boom, tied up. Snowman got 2 points over M80, 2 points under OG Cloud9, but M80 Rebellion tied up. Luminosity, a major team last major, is now in 9th with TSM, who's also a pretty solid team. Then you have NRG at 11th. Moist has not really been doing as good as they have last time around. They're setting at 10th. The Netherlands America Canada team with Taroko Justice, and I'm forgetting the last one, I think Drewy is at 10th. Dignitas is sitting at 9th, and you have the Lead XD, and then you have Cold. So it just, you can kind of see, I mean, there's a lot of story teams here in this top 16, but it hasn't been as, you know, well for some teams as it has been for others. While Cloud9's on the rise, LG seems to be on the decline. I mean, we could definitely sit here on a case by case basis, guys, and talk about each of these teams. I mean, what sticks out to you the most, Rollbiz?
I think what sticks out to me the most is the teams that are able to compete for a 3 and 4 spot. I don't think that this is the deepest that NA's ever been. We had a lot of imports, Furia, Complexity, and that season was full of talent. But I think that true North American natives are that, like, this is a deep pool that we have, and you cannot sleep on the teams that are in that 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 range. Like, just to know that Luminosity made the major and they're sitting at 9th place is insane. The other teams are improving at a rapid rate. We have young guns that are creating their own storylines nowadays, which is great, like the Snowman, Cloud9 coming out of nowhere, Percy making an arc. Like, there's so many storylines in North America nowadays. I had one of the best times I've had watching North America in a long time this past weekend, and that is because of some of the storylines that we have in North America.
It's not the deepest NA's ever been. I think Raul brings up a great point back in 22, 23 when you had complexity, you had fear, you had the best teams in Sam all over here. I mean, at that point, combine that with a couple of the NH squads, you really can go 7, 8 deep of really talented rosters that can do some great work at the major, or at a major at Atlanta, any land, to be honest. I think you also had another time way back, I think in the RCSX, I thought NA was really, really good. Really, really good. Envy, NRG. You had Rogue, had SSG. Those 4 teams in particular are all really great. And I thought any of them could win lands. A couple other squads right outside of that. So I thought that was another great era of North American Rocket League. So I wouldn't say it's the deepest, but what I will say is that the teams are good. I will say that if we had a league play or something, that it would be interesting to see how all these teams could do. We kind of got some flash in the pan squads. You got Snowman, flash in the pan. They're gonna be good. I don't know if they're necessarily gonna be great soon. Cloud9, I think they're good right now. I don't think anybody would expect them necessarily make it back to a top 4 or for rip. I'm not saying it's out the question, but I think other teams can make that or compete against them. But I still do think you just have the 2 best in the game in Gen.G and G2. And then after that, you got an SSG squad. And then after that, you could put an OG. I think Luminosity, I mean, they lost, but they could always bounce back. Got a couple other teams as well. So it's got a good amount of teams and from that 4 to 10 range that could all compete, and then they could compete against the best of the best. But say they're gonna beat them and actually be the deepest NA's ever been, I don't think that's the case.
That's fair. I agree with you guys. The thing is about these kind of like individual teams that has really kind of been on my radar, at least, is just like Luminosity not being able to make it out of Swiss after, you know, they had such a strong start in Major 1, or at least just like, you know, sure, they go round 5 all the time. We're kind of used to that. But them not being able to do things well here, you know, they're in a risk of their major. I mean, well, right now they have to have a good event. And then they also have to hope that, you know, OG has a poor event. It doesn't make the major if they want to have a chance for Worlds, because that's kind of the thing that where we're looking at here in that aspect. But then also teams like SSG still trying to submit themselves at that consistent top 3. They're looking really good right now. But then teams that we had coming in from the off season, I think, Raul, you talk about Dignitas, you talk about Rebellion, you talk about M80. Especially M80. I mean, these were rosters that I think we all expected were going to compete with the top 4 for NA all season long, and they just haven't been doing that.
Yeah, I mean, M80's got to be the greatest disappointment we've ever seen. Personally, it's the greatest disappointment I've ever seen. I don't know how this makeup of 3 incredibly individual players just struggles every time they hit the bracket. Is some crazy mental block that they got. I don't know if they even believe in themselves to win a series, so it's super disappointing. But going to Dignitas, they made a crazy move. Gyro looked incredible this weekend. Gyro was the move. He was the move. He's been the player that they needed. He's the piece that they needed. I expect Dignitas to be like coming back into the conversation of contesting that top 4 spot. So I think we do have a decent amount of teams that can compete for that spot. I mean, M80. It just sucks thinking about M80. I can't even lie.
Yeah. I don't even think I have them making the major at this point, which is tough because they look good. In Swiss, they like the best team in the world.
The best team in the world.
Like I don't know. It's just you're right. That playoff mental block. All they have to do is just kind of get past it. And then
Too
now,
bad. It's too late.
yeah, too late.
But I'll tell you, it's not too late for them to end up winning some more money and winning. It's not too
Yeah.
late for that. But in terms for them to do something, it's probably too late. Unfortunate. I don't know what
Yeah.
that is. I don't know. It's just something about, but I mean, it is a different way of approaching the game. And then also, I mean, they can see people talking about it. People be joking about M80 and Swiss versus M80 and bracket. They're human. They can see
Yeah.
that. And so I know that might factor into their psyche, when they play. And also in Swiss, I think there is a comfortability that you can lose a match and still be alive. When you go into single elimination, it's fresh slate, anybody's chance to win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've heard from AJ. At least I know AJ's a very confident player. I don't know. So I know AJ's just kind of focused, and he's been doing a lot of grinding, less streaming, more playing the game, trying to get ready for the last event. I don't know too much about Jorius and Nas. I know I'm sure it has to be hitting them pretty hard, considering the fact that they moved over to NA for this, and then they haven't been able to be successful. I mean, we even saw like Jorius tweet over the weekend, Raul, and it just wasn't looking good. I even said I was like, I don't think that should be on the timeline, but
Yeah.
he's just expressing himself, which is fine. But yeah, it's tough. It's definitely tough. I don't know who I would put at 4 right now. I probably would put OG at 4. That'd probably be my 4.
I think
To go to the
they're
major.
confident pick right there.
Yeah, OG running back. This time they do a little bit better in London. I can see it. That'll probably be what I go with there. But I mean, it's a toss up for the most part. You don't know. Snowman can have a good run because he's Snowman there. Cloud9 could be consistent. Then we see Cloud9 there. Who knows? We don't know.
I'm so disappointed in Snowman too. Honestly, I
You're disappointing everybody, aren't you?
No, I mean, look, I'm one of the biggest critics in the ecosystem. I believe, like every time I criticize somebody, y'all are like, wait, but they did this, but they did that. The Snowmen, Young Guns, they showed the potential, but I kind of saw it coming where they would underperform coming into the next.
How'd you see it coming? Was it obvious?
They just got ahead of themselves. I think a big problem in North America is complacency for a lot of players. You'll get this big performance and then you'll stop taking scrims as serious. And I've experienced this myself. I mean, it's just a thing that happens, and it's tough to get back. But that is a huge problem for North American players. And I think the young guns, they just need a little bit more experience. They need to realize what they have and how good they actually can be, but they need to keep the foot on the pedal. Don't ever take it off. And I think that they're just young right now, and they took the foot off the gas a little bit.
Valid. Can't take your foot off the gas, man. Can't do it. It's a lot of ways that I mean, you see it. People are very hungry to get into these spots, and if you take your foot off the gas, they'll take advantage of it. And we've seen that all around the world. We've even seen people step up and make history in Europe. Let's talk about this representation in Europe. History has been made. Alims is the first woman to qualify for EU RLCS. Let's take a look at the Shift tweet, please. Where Shift says with La Mazi. Ooh, I don't even know how to pronounce the team's name.
That's not try.
Okay. I don't know how to pronounce the other team's name. Nordschleife? Ooh, nope. I'm gonna mess it up. Just know, Alice was the first woman to qualify for an RLCS main event since RLCS Season X, which I believe was... Oh, it's Masia. I believe the last one was Karma, who had qualified in RLCS X. I could be wrong on that aspect, but...
I think it was Tally Bird and then Karma.
Oh, Tally, then Karma?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And then GC made a tweet. Big shout out to GC. With La Masia making the regional, Alims has become the first woman to qualify for an RLCS event in Europe. So, very big win there. Nordschleifer. Thank you, Lawler. Appreciate you. So, what are our thoughts on this, gentlemen? History's been made. Representation in the EU. I think I love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, what's not to love? We getting representation from all walks of life is great. The diversity in every aspect of life, and I mean, I hope it continues. He's paving the way for everybody else to walk up and prove what they got. Just closing the gap for everybody else, making the way.
Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, Raul touched on it. More diversity, more different walks of life, more. That's an interesting way to phrase it. I had to say it. I had to say it. I had to say it. That's an interesting way to put it. Yeah, and then I mean, I know if I have a baby girl or someone, or hopefully if I have a baby girl, hopefully I have a kid one day. And if my baby girl wants to play video games, I will. Trust me, her dad's a gamer, and I'm not gonna say she can't play. And if she ends up becoming really good, I want her to be able to look up to people. I want her to be able to see people who have been successful in the competitive ecosystem of video games. I want her to be able to chase her dreams and go for that. There's nothing stopping nothing stopping no one outside of access, being treated right, being treated equally and fairly, and being in a actually good environment. And that's why I would have to be monitored, because I can't trust people on the internet. But
Valid.
but some people are just absolutely bad people. But in general, it is really exciting. It's good. I know the whole entire lady scene, that they definitely are excited for the limbs. And I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited too. The whole entire RLCS ecosystem should be excited, because I mean, more people out there, more diversity out there. It's always great for Rocket League. I think Rocket League really is the best esport in the world, and I think that it can really showcase that in various ways. And this is one of them. And like I said, it just shows that somebody can make it. A woman can make it all the way to the top, and that's good. That's great, and that's what we want to see. That's what I want to see. And then eventually, one day down the line, you might even see a couple ladies hoist a major championship, maybe in a world championship trophy. That's the goal. That's what you want, and that's what. And these are stepping stones that it takes to get to that point.
Yeah, exactly. Just being able to, just showing that, this is something that's definitely possible, and just being able to open that door for a lot of people. I mean, that's very big. And I think that definitely something that, we love to highlight here on this show, because even when we're on this show, it's something that is just an example of representation too around the world. The people who see us, and then they see, what we've been able to do, and that inspires people. So just for in that aspect, again, it only makes sense for us to be able to highlight Alims and her team being able to qualify for this event, because it's just something that's just very important. A lot of people have passions for esports. A lot of people watch and try to figure out, is this something that's doable, possible? Can I get involved? And yes, you can. And we've seen it all up and down the scene, just from the tweets that we end up showing on this show, just to the interactions that we have around the scene. If you always want to just keep it locked in, there's so many talented, beautiful people around the world who are passionate about esports, and including Rocket League esports. And just much love to all of them for what they do every single day, because it is a lot of it just kind of run off that passion that we all have. So of course, yes, congratulations, and then we'll end up seeing La Masia this weekend. So we'll see how well they do in Europe, as that'll be a fun Friday. We're gonna kind of shift things over to Sam here a little bit and talk about upset in pajamas. NIP upsets both Complexity and Furia, as NIP claims their first qualifier win. Let's take a look at this NIP kickoff strap video. This one, get big shouts to John, AK Always, for this. We asked him about it. He made this one up, and we took a look at it. And just take a look at the NIP kickoff, because my God, it's beautiful.
Wait a second, go back, please.
You want to see it again?
Yes,
look at it again.
please.
This is against Complexity.
Oh my goodness, there's no way. How long had they been working on that? For this to work, that's insane.
Right? Oh my, like it's just an all-in play, and we have every single perspective on it too.
Like, nah, he's pretty much pre-jumping that, or he has insane reaction time. This is insane.
Pop up,
and then he's following it with 13 boosts. Nah, these boys is on something different, man.
Ooh, take a look at this. You need another shot. Here we go. Drone shot.
He pre-jumped that, did he not? Am I wilding? Did Astro pre-jump that?
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, he jumps as he makes contact with the ball. It's pretty much a pre-jump.
He has like insane reaction times for that.
I think it should be played again.
Let's run it back. Can we run it back?
Well,
Let's run it
hold on
back.
one time.
Whoosh. I mean, the only time I've seen anything, I haven't seen anything this good. We saw something like this with K-Corp at Copenhagen, where they had a kickoff strat similar to this, but it didn't involve all 3 players. It was just Vatir ended up scoring a goal off of it. But this one, perfect follow from Swift.
I mean, it's perfect all around. He
Yeah.
loses exactly where he needs to lose. Astro pre-jump reaction time follow up. Like, this is disgusting. Like, just watch this guy. This guy makes the play pretty much.
Wave dash into the jump.
And then Swift, like, the perfect utilization of the minimal boost that he has following this up. Like, he even flips forward like he's going for a kickoff. A
That's so
super fast
interesting.
follow-up. You typically see somebody from Swift's position go for like a demo if they're doing like a normal kickoff strat.
Yeah, like if you just see how like he moves like in mid, like he just goes straight through.
Yeah, and he even dodges CRR. Like he could demo CRR right there. But
Yeah.
he's like, this is not the play. I'm going for a shot here. It's insane. That's insane.
The more I look at it, the more I'm like, I'm really impressed. Especially just with like
Let's play it one more time.
Yeah, play one more
It's-
one more
it's
time.
tryna-
I feel like you just I know, right?
it was just that crazy, bro. We gotta see one more time.
But like look at Stravic though, he doesn't speed flip either. He goes for the wave dash, which I think is really like interesting too in the play, because he's not trying to get there quick, but he is trying to still like get supersonic when he's at the ball. And that's just a good shot too.
It's a perfect shot. Perfect shot. Perfect kickoff. Perfect follow up. Like Diaz is just not expecting it. No, like no one's expecting this.
No one's
Not-
expecting it.
It makes me question how often they do it in scrims, or is this like, because you have to practice it somewhere, and you're definitely scrimming complexity. So, do you do it against complexity? Do you do it against every team you play? Complexity just not expecting a kickoff strat with 10 seconds left in the game, and this is a game that they came back in too. They come back. There's 13 seconds left on the clock. They were down 4-2. They score this goal. They score another kickoff.
This is so interesting too, because CRR is the one who cheats on here, and then they have Diaz go for the corner.
That's insane. That's insane. Or like, is it more of the kickoff strat that won them the game, or is it complexity's lack of? I don't think I would
It's gotta
expect that,
the
to be
kickoff
honest.
Strat. Like it's
Yeah, it's
definitely
gotta
the kickoff
be.
strat.
Because
Is it Paul?
he said plausible. Press that one more time.
Hold on. Lost. Oh, you lost the mic.
Oh, that's why.
Oh,
Is this thing pausable? No,
said
Ben,
it-
you
it-
didn't
he-
fix me. Ben, you didn't lose me. It was
Okay.
me. It was user
Yeah.
error. It was on Tyler Bates' side.
Yeah.
Anyways,
yeah.
is this thing pausable? Can we pause the clip at a certain point?
Oh, he says he needs a sec.
Because a lot of people probably think I'm probably asking this because I've been munching on my food. I haven't ate all day, so I did need to eat. But no, I was
He said
asking
it is
because
possible.
I
We
was
can
really
pause.
all right. So play it again. I'm sorry, we keep playing again. I'm just really interested because I really do think I want to pause it on the Astro part, like halfway through. I just want to see like how does he?
Like when we're on his POV.
Yeah, when we go to Astro's POV. Part of me had to. But yeah, when we go to Astro's POV, I just wanna see what exactly. I mean, that kickoff right there. How's that kickoff right there of a night?
This is POV.
Keep going a little bit. Like up
Pause it,
until
like,
right
right
before
after kickoff.
before the ball gets hit.
Yeah,
Like right now.
he's jumping, man. He's
Yeah, but
jumping.
like he jumps it. Like that's
He's pre-jumping it pretty much. Like he knows where
like
the
is he
ball's
just
going.
hoping here? Like some form of me makes it believe he's just hoping. Cause I mean, nice kickoff. Knight doesn't really. Does Knight flip through the ball? Yeah. I just wish. I wish I could. Let me see. Let me see how Knight flips through. Knight flips through the ball here.
Yeah, he's flipping.
No, he's about to flip weird though.
No.
He's about to
I
flip
don't know
weird.
if he flips.
Yeah, he
Oh,
basically like
does-
backflips it in a way. It's
Yeah.
like maybe not complete backflip, but how does it like? It really does bring back the question: how much do they practice that? He paused
Now
that
we
slightly.
need
He
need like
like
a pause
sidesteps
like
it.
right when he makes contact.
Slightly too early.
Yeah, like right when Knight makes contact, try to pause it there.
You're not
I
gonna be
can't
able to
see
see it
it.
in this. You're not gonna
I
be
can't
able
see
to
because
see
of
it.
Nick play.
I'm sorry, Chad, for the 10 minutes of clips. I just want to see. Yeah, I don't know. It's just I feel this is my assumption. I haven't talked to any of them. I feel like they practice variations of that in some form of fashion, and that was like the best case scenario, obviously, where the
Mhm.
ball leaks out, to the left, and then Astro just knows it's gonna leak out to the left, maybe a little bit in front of him, and he jumps. And maybe when they practiced it, they've had some scenarios where the ball's a little higher, where he needs to hit it high. But that means he needs to jump, and somebody just leaks underneath them. He didn't necessarily jump too high. He kind of jumped where he could have hit it if it goes low underneath them, or if it goes a little bit in the air, in case it takes a little bit of air time. And then from there, they just all three attack. I think that's maybe what it went, or maybe they don't practice it at all. Maybe they're speculating too much, and maybe they just said we need to go for something aggressive.
Yeah, there's 13 seconds left. You got nothing to lose, so
maybe he's just
why
said we
not?
need to go for something aggressive, and maybe that's just what ended up happening. But I think the reason that people, reason I think they practice in some form of capacity is because Astro jumped so fast. He
Mhm.
jumped instantaneously. It's almost you could say it's a little bit of a pre-jump, but it's more so I think he's just reacting like he just knows it's gonna happen. That
Yeah.
bounce is gonna happen. He's reacting like literally in a millisecond, which is crazy. That was a crazy move. That was a crazy play.
It actually makes me wonder more of. Oh, we getting another one? Okay.
Is this like frame by frame? Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's,
see, like he
flipping
doesn't really like
sideways.
flip. He just flips. He's 50 sideways backflip, like push. That's a push to the left.
Yeah.
But then Astro knows that
Astro's
ball's
already
on there,
up.
bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
I'm saying he
Yeah.
he knows. That's what makes it feel like he's practicing that a little bit. Like they just know that ball is gonna leak out to the left if Knight goes for this. And that's how most kickoffs work. Usually people, those who may not pay as much attention. This is Rock. See, look, now you're getting schooled in Rock Lee chat. You're welcome. For those who might not pay enough attention, why you make that face tomorrow?
What? No. You're fine. Go ahead.
Anyways, for those who don't really be paying attention, usually it's just left goes. That's like the basic Rock Lee thing. Left goes. Right on the right usually doesn't go when you have two diagonal kickoffs and one back in front of the net on the 2-1 set, or you call it a 1-2 set, whatever you want to call it. And Complexity had their left go. But then Knight went on the right for NIP. And usually, basically everybody knows is when the right person goes and the opposition's left person goes, the ball usually does leak out to the left.
Yep.
Like you're putting all the pressure on the right side of the ball, and then the ball is going to leak out to the left. That's just how physics works. And so maybe they just had a feeling about that was going to happen, but then also they just schemed it up a little bit to where if Knight gets a little bit at the side of his car, diagonally flips back, then the ball is going to pop up off the contact. Maybe they know something about that. I don't know. Somebody have to train that and test that. Too bad you can't really like test that all the time in like a custom or something. That'd be nice just to see like, can you really replicate this and how much you could do it. That'd be interesting at a game mode like
I mean, they probably could with like a coach or something. Yeah, have the coach just line up
but
one side.
yeah, but you couldn't just reset it though.
Yeah,
That's the
you
problem.
need
Like you
someone
can't
with
just
admin,
reset it.
Like you need someone like me in the lobby and just resetting off kickoff every time.
You have to
And then
reset
need,
every
like,
time.
It's a 7-person process.
Yeah,
Or
that'd be
6 if you
nice.
have someone
That'd
with
be
admin.
nice if they had that. Rocket League, add that. Add the ability for 3 people to get into a private match and just reset all the time, like custom training. Or just make online custom training, collaborative custom training.
You know what's
That'd be
crazy
cool.
about this though is we were talking about this in the past where when like kickoffs is the only variable in like Rocket League where you can actually like create things. You can it can be different every time and we can sort of create plays from it. But we were talking about this previously and now it's actually coming into fruition and it's happening all over the scene where we're seeing different plays being created from kickoff. And just looking at this, the trust that they have to have. Bates mentioning that left typically goes, but they knew that, so they had the right guy go so that they could pinch it left, and Astro would be there in perfect position. it makes me wonder, like, what's the strat against it? Like, maybe Complexity fakes the kickoff, and then what happens is the guy who's going for kickoff on NIP just hits the ball, and nothing happens anymore because Astro it's gonna mess up the way the ball is altered or the way the ball goes. Like, you can have so many counters to these different plays if you're expecting it, and I wonder like how many more plays people are gonna ultimately come up with.
You can lose the kickoff there. Like if you're doing double diagonal and a guy mid, you could just have the two diagonal just go for corner boost, and then the guy mid just play the ball, because that way you're pressuring the ball, you're not necessarily giving it up. So the guy's gonna hit it, and then he'll end up hitting it, and then you have two guys in the boost in the back. So even if they play it to the left or the right, then you can just you'll still have possession with two guys with full boost. I've seen people talk about that a lot, and you see people do it. I think Gladiators, when Marky was coaching, they did that. So you have the two guys on the diagonal. Instead of going for the ball, they half flip back and go for boost.
Yeah.
And then the guy middle challenges
Goes
the ball.
for the ball. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Gladiators did that a lot. And what they try to do is they try to play around him, but they end up giving a possession, so the other two guys have full boost while there's just one guy getting boost in the back.
That stuff's sketchy. That stuff scares me.
Yeah. It's all of it's really risky.
I mean, the first guy just guaranteed. I mean, he just should be beat. The first guy should be beat. The opposition should be able to assess that they're not going for the ball. The first guy should be beat. So then it comes down to your two guys right there, but then you've given them space. So one of them has to go. So it doesn't really matter how much boost they have. One of them has to go for the ball. So really, so that guy's also going to get beat as well. Okay, that's just easy cook city. That's easy cook city. I'm crossing them up every single time. So then you're putting all the onus on the back guy, the last guy with 100 boosts to make the play. So you're really hoping that you're not playing a team like Karmine Corp, who knows they're gonna get by them first two guys, and then Atto's just already chasing the third guy already. Woo, that's dangerous. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do that. I don't like giving people time with the ball and space in this game, boy. That you make a 3v3 game a 1v1 special. That's too scary. That's too scary.
Yeah. I mean, both of those kickoffs are risks, because if that kickoff goes any other way for Complexity, they are now in a position where no one has boost and no one's on ball, and then it just goes into their net. Like if it goes to the right instead of the left, then it's wraps, because they were full faith on that kickoff. Like mid went up, not expecting to hit the ball, and was expecting Astro to be able to get that touch out. If he doesn't, if that ball plays any other way, he doesn't have enough time to react. And then they've got possession, they've got everything. So
yeah, that was a all or nothing play for sure. 13 seconds left, you're down by 2, all or nothing.
Yeah, let's just talk about bad once again kickoff defense. Don't Complexity up to 4-2, 13 seconds left. You should never lose that. Why are two people going for the ball? Why you have somebody cheat? I don't understand.
I think
Why?
they just felt like they couldn't lose right there. You're up by 2 goals.
They should learn that they can't lose. You always lose. People need to learn. Stop being aggressive on kickoff when you're up by 2 goals.
How do you learn, Bates? You learn by experience, man. I bet they won't do it again.
They got plenty of experience.
I bet they won't. Not losing by 13, losing by 2 goals. You're up by 2 goals with 13 seconds left. How many teams have come back from that? How many teams have come back from that? Realistically,
it's not about that. It's not about the number. It's about the fact that the kickoff is the most volatile time in the game. Everybody knows that. Everybody at the highest level knows that, because the one time where the rotations, the boosts, and everything else has not been set. There's no flow. Anything can happen. The ball can just bounce off the wall. You can get bumped. You can miss a boost. You can barely be in the boost battle, and all of a sudden your team is chaos. It's chaotic. It's chaotic time without any flow. I'm making sure I'm neutralizing that to the best of my ability. I'm on Complexity. I'm not cheating. I'm just chilling. Gotta hit the ball one time. One big clear and the game's over.
Yeah, put a little clip in for us for the kickoff again. Yeah, no, it's full faith. That's crazy. It's full faith. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, you probably play back there. That's a pretty hectic moment too. It's a game 6 situation. Game 6, you just scored the second goal. If you're Complexity, you're like, all right, cool. We just scored the second goal. We can breathe a little bit. We got it. But then, yeah, you're right. They're not locked in. They're not thinking like the NIP's gonna pull off a play like that.
I'll tell you this though.
Mateus in chat saying Complexity said GG's before the kickoff.
Yep.
Exactly. That was the problem. They should have been saying lock in. We got another 12 seconds. But the NIP squad, man, they balling out there in sand, by the way. I know we hyper focused on that. I mean, they ended up winning that game and then won in game 7 against Complexity. But Wait, yeah, it wasn't game
Nah,
7
saying
against
GG's on
Complexity.
kickoff is before
then
that is
NIP
crazy.
NIP, I mean, they won the whole entire tournament right there. Won the whole entire qualifier. Beat Team Secret 4-1. They beat Furia 4-1 as well. They also beat Furia in the Swiss, I think 3-1 too. But the NIP squad, man, they're nice. They're nice. Sam's got a lot of great teams down there. Looking at the rankings, I don't think we got the rankings on the stream, so
Nah,
let me pull up the Sam rankings here from Major 2 real fast.
36 to Furia, 28 to NIP, 28 to Secret, 24 to Crew, 20 to Complexity.
Like
it's
got some really good teams in Sam, man. Sam
close.
they're contending for some extra major spots. And he's not gonna be giving up any of theirs anytime soon, though. So don't even be suggesting that. But Sam, man, they got some really good squads. Could be interesting to see.
Yeah, it is. It is. We'll see what's going on with Sam. Keep an eye on. Keep them locked in. EU qualifier number 5 this weekend. Who is taking home the EU qualifier? Vitality can go back to back. Let's pull up Vitality versus Gen.G highlights for us, please. Get the mates versus the Swarm. Well, actually, it's the green suits versus the Swarm. My bad.
He's back. Is he back? Is he
never
back?
left.
Actually, he did never leave. He
Never
did
left.
never leave. The team just took a little bit of a break.
Ooh. That was a touchy
nice.
off the water, a little reset doubling.
Mm-hmm.
All right, when you gonna start respecting him, bro?
There's not respect
not
Tachi, man.
He's not a tap-in specialist.
Listen, you end up making the show, that means not respect.
Okay, buddy.
I have Zen, but his English isn't good enough. And my French is terrible. So it's more on me than less on him. Matter of fact, my French is so terrible, some would say it's non-existent. Anyway, Vitality. All 54 doing what he does. Over the top. And you saw what this Vitality squad can do, man. You know what they bring to the table, man. They're back, bro. They're back. By the way, y'all, this is 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's always the biggest question is that guy right there, man. It's the guy who bounces in his chair. Yo, like if he looks awkward, this team doesn't look as strong. Like Zen can try to 1v3 G2 and it still won't work if Rado's not bouncing in his chair after scoring a goal. Like he has to be the guy.
He has to bounce. That's all. That's what
He has to bounce. Facts.
Gotta bounce.
gotta
Look,
see
lean
the Rado
there.
bounce.
It's on lean. Rado lean. No. Look at Zen. He said, "I'm true to this. I'm not new to this." Beautiful.
But also, like, what about M80 or M80? M80 is
Why was
crazy.
I about M80?
What about Gentlemates, man? Like, what happened? What happened? Like, I was expecting at least a little
we
bit
didn't
closer
show
of
it. We didn't show the open miss. That were in that game 5. The open miss from Juicy.
Yeah.
That was
What do
rough.
you mean what happened to Gentlemates?
Like, I'm expecting a closer series than that.
I mean, all the games are close, weren't they?
They're gonna be close with Gentlemates, man.
That's what I'm
Gentlemates
saying.
don't concede too many goals.
Listen, Gentlemates, they fly right next to the sun. They're like Icarus. They're right there. Listen, you fly too close, you might get burnt sometimes. That's just what it is. Gentlemates is gonna play that nice close game every single game, man. They don't need to play a lot of offense. They're content beating you by a goal, beating you by 1 goal, winning games 1-0, 2-1. And that's just how they play. That's their style. And that's why, one, I think it really works on land. So mechanics aren't as good on land. But in saying that though, it just poses a little risk. And they won't always be able to win like that. So if a team like Vitality's on, they're executing a little bit better that day, they're gonna win. That really just shows how close all these teams are. I wouldn't necessarily say Vitality's better than Gentlemates right now or anything. I would say they're really close to each other. And I think either of them can win series based off of who's more so on their game that day. That's what really Rocket League comes down to.
I mean, I think if Rado plays to that level, they are better than Gentlemates. I think it goes back to the question we had. Like Gentlemates online is just not the same, and I do think that you're onto something when you say like the LAN play, the online play is different, and how Gentlemates plays benefits them on LAN, and we're clearly seeing that. Like I think that online that play doesn't work because players are a lot more confident. They go for a lot more things, and on LAN your mechanics have to be on, or else you're gonna flop sometimes. And It's what a lot of teams did against Gentlemates, where they really don't have to rely on their mechanics, and their teamwork is what kind of gets them through these games. Defensively, I'm really critical on like what Juicy was doing that regional specifically. I wanted to see what the hype was about. Juicy did play incredible at the LAN, but
What the hype was about one MVP.
I don't think he should have been MVP. I mean, I think it was Itachi, but that's neither here or there. I think going into online, like I need to see that quote unquote MVP Juicy, and I don't think we've seen it. Will we see it though?
He needs to see Juicy make a splash.
He didn't get an MVP for the tournament. Well, I guess he did technically. Is it MVP for the finals or MVP for the tournament? He balled out in the finals.
For the tournament. He got it for the tournament.
I don't know. They gotta start framing that a little bit better there.
That's what I'm saying.
I think it's MVP for the finals.
D-Rex said tournament.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I'm thinking in terms of how people be voting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think in terms of how people be voting, it's
That's true.
I mean, Juicy was balling out in the final. Juicy's balling out in the last 2 series, especially, and of that. So that might sway it. And I think also that when the pressure, the further you get along the tournament and the closer you get to the end, and when the stakes are the highest, I think people factor that in a little bit more. So, I mean, he could have went to Juicy, could have went to Itachi. MVP stuff.
Even John in chat, we all remember Juicy didn't make the MVP nominations before Sunday, right? Like there was 5. Yeah, that's true.
That's
true.
Itachi was robbed.
Listen. At the end of the day, it's just a little trophy. It don't matter. They worry about the big boy. They worry about the W. And Juicy, he balled out in that championship Sunday. That's what you expect. He was just clutch. He was just icy. Scored all the OT goals when he needed them in Copenhagen. And sometimes he's gonna be on, sometimes he's gonna be off. He's a shooter. I do think that the Gentlemates making it all the way to the grand finals did show me something. They ended up being auctioned. Right here, beat Luna Galaxy. They did end up losing to Karmine in the Swiss, but the fact that they did make it all the way to the grand finals, that showed me something. That means like, okay, Copenhagen, it wasn't as they got hot. They can still do this. They can still make grand finals. I want to see what they can do again. They won't have to worry about Karmine this time around though. Karmine won't be there, unfortunately. But they do gotta continue with Vitality, Oxygen, EDS, Resolve, and a whole bunch of other teams. I was making sure I was just reading them off.
Yeah. Is Resolve valid?
Yeah.
You think
Who
so?
asked that?
I asked that.
You asked that.
Yeah.
Well, now, wait, listen. You know what I'm saying about the cannon.
Hey, listen, the cannon's clutch.
But I'll tell you this. Clutch. You know it's more valid than Resolve?
What?
Resolve paying off the crossbar to make sure that Monkey Moon can't shoot.
How often we gonna see that?
Shooting, bro. The BDS shooting was
That's not the first time though we see Monkey Moon has a questionable shooter. Remember back in Copenhagen when he leaned all the way back in the seat?
Yep. They played against, what was that, G2?
Yep, unfortunate for him.
Yep, they played against G2, game 5. I remember it. Remember it so vividly because Itachi and Seiko were sitting there trying to laugh at us. and then what happened? Monkey Moon hit the crossbar, leaned back in his chair. They lost the game. Me and Base turned around doing this. Call a timeout. Call a timeout. You're gonna need a timeout.
Yeah, I don't know. That might be BDS and Kryptonite. Monkey Moon's ability to put the ball in the back of the net. He can do everything else, but Monkey, it's starting to become a little questionable. Evan, make a couple shots, please. But yeah, I mean, you got a lot of good EU teams. Let's get to the question though. Who's gonna take home the European qualifier? That's right. I took over the host handle for about 2 seconds to answer the question. I'm gonna go to the BAB. Who you think? Who you got taking home?
Ooh, this is an interesting one. I'm lining between the mates and I'm lining between the O2. I don't think Vitality does it back to back. Let me see something. I need to check one thing here, and they'll give me the answers.
This is why I asked him. You see how he always asks us, but when I ask him, he needs time. He needs to look up things. He needs to check his things. Like he clearly all he does is like to ask questions.
I do like to ask questions. I'm
Good,
nosy.
ask you the question.
All right. Well, let's see. I'll say
What are you looking at?
I'm going Gentle Mace. Don't worry about what I'm looking at.
No, I'm worried about what you're looking at. Cause do you have a
No.
script or something?
Don't
Like,
don't
did you
worry
look
about
at
what
a
I'm looking at.
statistical analysis? Like, what
Do I
led you to
ask
picking
you
Gentleman?
these questions? I don't
Maybe
ask
you
you what
should.
led you to make these decisions. No, because I know you're delusional. That's all I need to know.
Listen,
You definitely don't use numbers in your arguments. And that much I do know.
don't use numbers. What are you talking about? I use plenty of them.
Yeah, you look up series score. That's the only numbers you look at. And then when the series scores don't work, you try to find some other numbers.
He's got
What's
you
the
on that one.
G2 argument? Oh, we made it further in the bracket. Not the past matchups. Oh, we made it a little bit further. So don't do me. Oh, listen, I'm saying mates. I'm going to mates, man.
Why?
Because I feel like Gentle Mates, they lost vitality. Juicy, he was looking very upset, but Gentle Mates has proven time and time again that they've been able to take it to the best teams in Europe. I expect them to kind of clean things up this next time around, because you can tell, even though they won the major, they still want to win these events, and they're not letting off the gas. And again, that disappointment from Juicy was very big for me. In seeing that. So I expect them to clean a lot of things up. They don't have Karmine Corp in their way. BDS hasn't been looking good at the shooting. I think their toughest competition this event will be between Oxygen and Vitality. And all it takes is for both of them to be on the same side of the bracket, Gentlemates to be on the other side of the bracket, and Gentlemates has won the event. But regardless of that, I think Gentlemates has gone through Oxygen. It was a 7-game series. Oxygen do look really good. I probably put Oxygen at my number 2, but I would still be more confident in Gentlemates because they've proven that they could do it before. Okay.
Bro, what do you
Cool.
think?
I was waiting for your rebuttal on that because you asked him first, but
No. No, I didn't have a rebuttal. I was just asking in general.
I don't really like your number 1 and 2. It's okay. I think what we saw from Vitality before when they were winning everything is all it took was 1 win, and then they kind of went on a streak. And without Karmine Corp to kind of settle the waters for Vitality, I think the boring answer is going to be Vitality back to back. And as soon as Rado gets a little taste of victory, he might own goal here and there, but I think he's gonna be Rado bouncing all weekend. I got Vitality again.
That's crazy. Yeah, no. Because I feel like Vitality could just go up against BDS and lose.
Then Monkey Moon's gonna hit the crossbar, but not losing.
But they beat him in Swiss. That same event.
And M80 dominates every Swiss.
Is BDS M80?
I'm not worried about Swiss. That's my point. I
That's
worry
fair.
about the bracket.
That's fair. I'm just saying Vitality had a pretty easy bracket last time.
Oh, everybody's easy to Vitality when they're winning. Zen's the best player in the world.
Vitality, huh?
Yes.
I think Vitality's a great pick. I like the Vitality pick. I like them. I like that squad. I like that.
You going Oxygen, right?
I will say. Some would say their bracket was a little bit easier. They had to go against Jobless. Had to go against Grid or Resolve. Resolve beat a BDS squad. They couldn't hit the backside of a barn. And they ended up smacking Gentlemen though, which is a big W. I mean, I don't know. I just really believe in this Oxygen squad, man. I really do. I think they got something special, man. Joyo was cooking. I think that series against Karmine Corp, especially, Oxygen showed you something. It showed you that they have the talent, they have the ability to win. And then Gentlemates, I mean, it took a great Gentlemates defense to really stop Oxygen onslaught. Like a Joyo, so talented in the air. Large Oscar, you know what he can do. And then Archie was just playing so consistently solid. It just felt like it was just theirs to win. It really did. And if Archie keeps playing like that, especially on the defensive end, where I really do think he was just nothing short of sensational basically the whole entire weekend. Had a couple of hiccups there that stopped them from really being as great as they could have been. But if he's setting up, if he's playing with low boost consistently, giving the ball to Joyo, giving the ball to Oski, sacrificing for his teammates to let both his young mechanical wizards go to work up in the sky, I mean, that's a hard team to beat. And I do think that with some improvement over the last 2 weeks, with some experience with each other, I think they're going to end up taking it, or they're going to get very close to taking it. I would roll with them. I didn't really pick him last 2 weeks ago because I said him, and then I said, nah, I forgot who I picked for real. But I'm picking them this time around. I got them. I got them taking it. I got them meeting. It doesn't matter who they meet. They're gonna win. They're gonna win it, and that's what I believe in.
So it's good to know that you're both wrong.
Let's get to know you're both wrong.
That was just a lame way of saying that. Why'd you say it like that? Who does the chat think is gonna win tomorrow? That's my question.
That's a good question. I've seen a lot of like a lot of oxygen in the chat, but let me drop a little poll, chat. Let me drop a little poll.
Seeing a lot of oxygen in the chat.
Yeah.
Good. That means I won. Fear says KC collab. Oh wow.
KC, what?
Speaking of
Stop it.
fear. Speaking of fear. So fear wants to tweet at me, so I'm just minding my business.
Okay.
I'm just minding my business on a casual day. I don't remember what day this was. About 2 days ago.
I'm gonna throw in BDS for the chat too.
About 2 days ago. Fear tweets, my brother.
Chat polls up.
Quote unquote. I have a buddy who watches Fear. Exclamation mark. He didn't realize we were brothers. Period. He told me to tell you that someone has trash takes. Comma. I can't remember who though. ... End quote. Fear says, at T3 Bates. Fear's brother says, quote unquote, all caps. Yes, yes. That was it. See?
I don't get it. What's wrong with
that?
His brother said that he watches the RLCS and someone has trash takes. He can't remember who it was. Then Fear guessed me. And his brother said, yes, yes, that's him.
He's right. What?
Oh, okay. I see you're being smart. Oh, you're being smart. Okay. You said that with such a straight face. That was good by you. Congratulations. I'll give you a cookie for that one. I'll give you a cookie for that one because you got me. Usually it doesn't happen, but you got me that time. I actually thought you were confused, but you weren't. You're clearly so not confused at all. But I'll tell you this, though. That means I'm great. His brother was thinking about me. But why? You could talk about it. So many things at RLCS. You could talk about Fear's 1v1, or his brother's friend was his brother's friend. He could talk about Fear's 1v1 stuff. He could talk about Zen, Daniel, Beast Mode, G2, Gen.G. And listen, he brought up Tyler Bates. That's greatness right there. He knows the name.
That's something.
He knows the name. Why you say that's something?
That's something. Is that
Why you
greatness?
say it like that? It is.
Chat, is that greatness? Listen, the chat votes ended too, by the way. Vitality has 50% of the votes. So
Where's Oxygen at?
24%.
24%?
Yep.
That's tough, bro.
The chat's rolling with Diz. I think that's the first time I've ever said that.
Nah.
Rolling with Diz?
Oh, probably.
How has no one ever said that before?
Because Roll doesn't have much to roll with.
Oh gosh. All right, listen, chat. We've got about a good 10 minutes left into the show. I want to open up the floor for any Q&As, any Q's you guys got. Give them to us now. No crazy takes though. No crazy takes. We'll see what you guys got for us. Okay. Kalu says, which non-top 3 NA team could make the deepest LAN run? He was holding on to that.
What happened?
Kalu asks, which non-top 3 NA team could make the deepest LAN run?
Cloud9.
No.
They play exactly like Gentlemen.
They do play a lot of defense.
If they're on, yeah.
You know what I'll go with? M80.
You know what? M80?
M80.
I mean, M80's not a bad shout.
Bro, making that out of Swiss is not the deepest run.
For NA,
No.
it is.
It's saying who can make the deepest run out of not top 3 teams. Like if you had to choose
Are
a
you just
team,
saying, not okay, so they're not 3rd seed or anything like that, 3rd or 4th seed. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, are they 3rd
you know what
or
I'm
4th
saying?
seed?
Outside of Gen.G, G2, and SSG, who from NA would you be confident in making a deep run out of LAN?
I'd probably say
M80.
OG. Part of me wants to say OG. especially now that they look more cleaned up. But yeah, I can see M80.
Is M80 not guaranteed a top 8?
No.
Really?
Why would they be guaranteed a top 8?
Those,
It's M80.
those sweet Swiss.
Yeah, that's easy Swiss M80.
But they sweep Swiss in North America, bro. Not
Sweet Swiss
international.
over there too. It don't matter who it
Yeah.
is. Anybody can get it. Anybody can get it.
Bro, this
Anybody can get
is
that smoke.
Swiss M80, Raul. This is
It's
not
on site.
regular hoppity
It's
do.
on
This
site.
is Swiss M80. I don't know a
Like
team that can beat
I got
Swiss M80.
playoffs is regular.
yeah. I mean, for them, unlucky. But Swiss M80, if the world championship was Swiss, they're winning worlds. I don't know how that would work. But I'd probably say that. All right, let me see. What else we got? Scrolling. Oh, oops, my chat went all the way up. Okay. Who are you currently taking if Falcons? If you're go head to head in a best of 7, Falcons.
What kind of question is that?
Falcons versus Fury?
Yeah.
But there should be no thought into that.
I mean Falcons. That was an easy question. Can I get something else?
Let's see.
I'm tired.
What kind of law you looking to go into, Bates?
Civil rights law. Next question. I'm about protecting the people.
Thoughts on Chalkcast versus First Touch 3v3, best of 5.
We win 3-2.
Easily. 3-2. 3-1.
I mean, I'm not confident in DeMar's ability to fly sometimes.
I'm sorry, I'm asking this. How can OCE, APAC, and SSA hope to grow if they continue to be ignored by RLCS personalities and First Touch?
You said
What's that have to do with me?
OCE?
Yeah. How do
What does that have to do with me?
I read that. I was just like, are you serious?
Time out. So you mean to tell me if I talk about the OCE boys, is gonna make them better at Rocket League? I didn't realize I had that type of power. If that was the case, and NA would have won every single land since we began this show. And then we talk about, because we definitely talk about NA the most out of any region here, or any region in the world. And I tell you this, NA has not been winning like that. So I don't know what that means. Yeah, I don't know what that means.
All right. When will FT top 10s finally be valid enough to be praised?
When T-Bait stops trolling, bro.
I'm not trolling.
Wait, bro, we saw you. Well, that's a problem. You need to start trolling.
G2 number 2.
That's a problem.
Who's the only team that's made every single grand final in the world this year?
Congratulations. Do you want to?
Congratulations. That's right. It's top 2 team in the world. Thank you.
No, they are not, bro.
Thank you. Wait, do you still rate Gen.G higher than G2?
Yes.
Oh, I love that. Personally, I love that. Personally.
If Gen.G plays G2, they will lose or they will win.
That's not how it works though.
Well, this game's all about matchups.
Who you more? It is. So let's go. So Gen.G might have a better matchup against G2. So who has the best matchup against everybody else in the world?
Gen.G. They played the top side. They had the harder side of the bracket in the major. And they played the winners closer.
You just picked Vitality to win.
We're not talking about that. You said against the rest of the world.
This is fun. I like this.
You just picked Vitality to win. You know, Genomace is in the same region as Vitality, right?
Yeah.
And G2 beat Vitality.
Yeah, but now we're talking about the past where Gen.G. Why are we talking about the past?
I don't know. I think he might have got you there.
We're bringing up past results
Right?
where Gen.G has looked better.
Right?
So why wouldn't it qualify the same?
I'm not getting this logic. I'm not getting this logic. Bottom line is, you got put in a corner, you don't know how to get out, and I'm boxing you, dead, hitting you with left jab, right
Okay.
jab, up hook,
Hold
right
on. Next
hook.
question. Do you think ZPS gets a win at the major?
No.
No.
Yeah, that's fine. That's valid. I could agree. Do you think LG will make Worlds?
Oh, you make Worlds? Ooh.
LG.
They would have the ball. They would have the ball out in this next one. What they need? Like a top 8, top 4?
Minimum.
No.
Minimum.
Yeah.
What are the odds on that?
Because if
Go ahead.
OG, SSG, let me pull up full rankings for NA. If OG and SSG make it, then LG's out. Period.
Yeah, he said Worlds. We make.
Right.
Oh wait, you said make it to the land?
No, we're talking about Worlds, right? If they make Worlds, yeah. If OG and SSG
Yeah.
make the major, Luminosity's out because they're already behind them in points by like 3.
Luminosity's behind SSG in points.
Yeah, SSG's at 46, Luminosity's at 44, OG's at 47.
Dude, giving these extra points to people in Major 2 just absolutely messes it up. Whatever.
I'm surprised Major 1 didn't have more points. That's the thing that kind of threw me off.
How is SSG past them already? What?
Yeah.
All right, well, if that's the case, I mean, listen, you have to hope SSG forgets how to hit the ball. So I don't know. You would have to. I mean, Luminosity needs to win the next qualifier. And listen, I love the Luminosity boys. I can't pick them to do that. I wouldn't favor that. I can see the top 4, top 2. Winning is a different story, though. I guess I gotta say no, because the way the points is.
When are we getting the FT 100-meter dash? Wait,
Bates is
100-meter
ducking.
dash.
Listen, we can do that. We can do that at Worlds.
100 meters? Wait, how long is that?
100 meters is a little long, though. I don't know if
It's like 100 yards around it.
We can do. Well, listen, I do 100 meters though. I do 100 meters. We
It's
can do it
gonna
at
be a little tough
we
for
can do it
me.
at the World Championship.
That's gonna be a little tough for me. I gotta
We
get
can do it at
Bates
the
is gonna snipe her.
World Championship in Fort Worth. We can do a 100 meter dash. Hold on, I need to see. No, I need to see. I need to see what the chat thing. 100 meter dash. Who you got? So so one person said money on Diz. Money on Diz. All right, good. Diz not close. One's going Bates. Money on Diz. Diz's legs are too short. Honestly, I got money on Daz being last.
I mean, yeah. I will take your money. That's easy. Asper said, no meters, no dash, run up the courts.
That's too pretty for this. Diz wins. Daz last.
I'm too pretty for this?
That's too pretty for this. Is crazy.
Hey, listen, if that's my out, I'll take that as my out.
No
But,
more.
like,
Everybody's saying you slow.
They don't know. And then when I put the Jets on, it's GG.
Bro, you just complained about 100 meters, man.
Listen, bro, I feel like I've beaten a couple of y'all in a couple of running situations.
You
That's all I
keep
gotta
saying
say.
he beat me, but that didn't happen.
No, both of you. I beat Bates when we were in Germany.
You
They
didn't beat
win.
me. You
When
I
didn't
beat
beat me in
Diz.
Germany.
I beat Diz. I beat Diz when we were in Chicago and we had to run to the car in the snow.
Bro, are you serious?
Yeah, the run in the snow is crazy.
Listen, it was cold now. Yeah, it was cold. I was getting to that car first. I said, I'll see y'all at the car. If I don't see you, it's toodaloo. And everybody had to run through the car in the zone. And all I remember is Jared's video where he has Arsenal. It's funny. Arsenal says, if there's one thing that I know how to do, it's turn on the Jets, baby. And he started going. I ain't gonna lie. Listen, the race might be great. We might have a race at Worlds.
See what I'm saying, bro? This dude's he makes up his victories, bro.
Makes up my victories. They were real wins. Those are real wins. Now,
Bro,
Bates
it was
is
never a
definitely
race.
okay. Roll probably got
beat
me.
me.
Roll was right, but Bates definitely lost. Bates definitely lost.
The only other person that was there to testify is
It's
Ashley.
biased.
It's biased. It's
It's
actually
biased.
She's not biased. Listen.
She's your girlfriend.
Nah, she would love to see me fail.
I
I think she wants to see you win more.
But you might be worried about other things if she wants to see you fail, man.
All right, we'll see. We'll see. Listen, we got to set that up in the World Championship. Good. That gives me. I'll be getting in shape slowly and surely. By that time, I'll be ready. I'll be ready by then. There'll be a race between me and DeMar. I'm not DeMar. Me and Raul. Because DeMar won't hit the legs. He won't get enough speed on him. He won't hit the gym over the summer. But trust me, I got nothing else to do but bar and gym. We'll get that race. We'll get that race, and we'll play basketball. We'll play basketball too. We'll film it all too. Matter of fact,
Oh,
yeah.
The basketball thing.
I can see if we can do a FT live somehow. Stream from the Rocket League channel. For World Champion on the World Championship. We do both though. We do both. We do it all.
Yeah, the basketball thing might be real. I've been talking to a couple people. Might be able to make it happen. So listen, we might have to do a draft and everything. Have some team captains. How many people do I need? I need 20 people. 20 Rocket League people. James Bott already said he was going to ref. I'm going to Dallas at the end of the month to look at some gyms. Once I get the gym,
even know anything about basketball? How did a real ref?
James, he said he was going to study. He said he was going to get his study.
I don't need somebody who needs to study, bro.
All right. Well, hey, listen, if y'all want to ref, just DM me. All right.
You know, Dave's going to be complaining about fouls, bro.
And we'll probably have a crowd too. So
good. Cool. I need a crowd. I need a crowd when I'm absolutely whooping everybody. That's another free W for me too. Yep. I mean, it's just gonna be free no matter what I do. But racing, I don't know. I'm fast, but I ain't like the fastest person. I know I'm not as fast as I used to be, so I can't act like a racing free W. But basketball though, ooh, I'm with all y'all. As long as give me a good team. Give me a good team, Sonny.
Give me a good team.
Sonny. A couple players.
All right, we'll see. We'll see what's going on. We'll see what's going on. Listen, Chad, you guys are the best. Thank you guys for so much for sticking around, asking your questions. I'm sorry we couldn't get to everybody, but I do still appreciate you guys still coming in and being cordial, being fun. You guys definitely are like so interactive when you guys are on the show, and it means the world to a lot of us. So we appreciate you guys coming in every week. I mean, it means the world. So thank you guys. Thanks Archie for joining us on the show. We appreciate you. Hope you enjoy your Nando's, bro. Obvious. Believe me. And believe also in this First Touch team that ends up making things work day in and day out for this show. They put in a lot of work behind the scenes. We really appreciate them. So on behalf of those guys, EU RLCS is this weekend. Be sure to check it out. It's going to be a big one. Remember, major qualifications on the line, World's qualifications on the line, and then NA quals will happen this weekend as well. Of course, since we don't talk about them as much, we'll talk about them a little bit more. OCE, SAM, MENA already happened. All the other regions, well, Sam's not happening this weekend, but of course, OCE kind of going on here as well with their qualifier. You're going to want to kind of keep eyes on things from them and from APAC here to see who's going to the major. So be sure to keep it locked in with us. Our socials will be on after the screen, but on behalf of First Touch, we appreciate you guys coming in every single week. 1, 2, toodaloo. We'll see you next time.